Welcome to another special rock and roll overtime. Every time march to the mountain. It is a special sunny day. We're gonna put the backpack and we're gonna go rock and roll workout overtime every time. From the lair of the dragon already did about an hour, and it is a sunny day. As you can see, it was cloudy. There was that storm, and today we marched. But first, I will say, as always do say, rock and roll style. Rainbow Dragon Independent Aspie with amnesia, retrograde amnesia. Aspie artist and athlete and philosopher. On these boots via Westmount. From right here from the park, we're gonna go to my second home. Already left the Dragon's Lair about an hour ago. We're gonna check exactly how today. Wrapping up 40-day journey yesterday and beginning the 22 days. For my fellow Thelemites, Thelemites, and all my allies and armies, pledge your legions. Always for my anonymous sister friend, North Americans and the youth. Always for the farmers, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, love you firefighters. Beautiful sun is shining. And my rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee. Rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee. Rent is paid, electricity bills paid, and I got that food and coffee, and I'm by Westmount. Let's see how long it took me, of course, to get here. It's about 6 kilometers or so. And of course, today's the 20th of March. I think Spring Equinox is gonna do another big cleaning. Part of the 22-day journey, getting ready for that. April 8th, 9th, and 10th for that special. Exactly an hour in my march. Exactly 1 hour into my march. And before I proceed, you wanna know, I see my gratitude. I say. My gratitude, don't mind me, I got that Asperger's, so I might repeat things twice, 3 times. It can be annoying. Just mute me and read along, or just read the descriptions as I go with this work to my laptop. Grateful, thankful, my rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, got some ideas for movies. North Americans unite. Support this financially struggling but rich. Rain kisses, I got kisses by the tree and some rock and roll with it. And if I know somebody who deserves to live in a house like this here in Westmount, it is my anonymous sister friend, whom if I make $1 million, I'm gonna give her half. If I make $1 billion, I'm gonna give her half. If I make $1 trillion, I'm gonna give her half. And now I gotta watch my head, because you know, for security, you never know. See, that's a bit on the security side, and we gotta balance that liberty with that security, because now I'm in the public. So I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations when I'm in the public, and gotta get that public-private partnership, support the dancing goddess and the Dragon Kingdom dream for the North American Collectif civilizational complex, and get it for that sun. Beautiful sunset, and get it for that sun. And super important to get that liberty must with security. So now when I traverse the street, gotta always check, double check, because I'm in the, of course, in the public, so I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations. But I would love to see my anonymous sister friend, who's the greatest woman I know, in one of these houses. And of course, I am grateful where I live now, way better than I wish to live. And was a bit moody earlier, was a bit on the moody side, but once I started working out, training, and exercises, always felt me some good. And take a breeze of this fresh air right here. When I get on the go already an hour, I always feel much better. It is my medicine and therapy of choice, but you know, I check a little bit of that social media dose. Maybe social media, you got to balance your social media with, of course, the nature and the civilization. And of course, always love to see these trees. And my Pope the King, the sun started shining. It was a stormy day, dark, cloudy day, so I said, well, the sun came out, so I said I'm gonna go, and I was gonna go anyways. Rainstorm or sunshine, I was gonna go anyways to the mountain, because you know I go anyways, whether it's raining, snowing, sleet, thunder, or whatever the case may be. I do go. But anyways, I'm grateful, thankful that I got a little bit of that sun, and of course now going on the sun. And always like to say my gratitude as I proceed, and I advise, giving advice, citizen advice. Before you cross the street, turn your heads left and right, before you cross the street, because of course the brakes can potentially malfunction. The citizen driver can potentially press the accelerator and not the brakes, so it can be, of course, something which can be interjected, and you gotta check, of course, when you cross the street, so you don't get, you know, upset with cars, and to avoid accidents, because you never know, the brakes can potentially malfunction. The brakes can malfunction the citizen driver might press the accelerator instead of the brakes. So it's something that can occur possibly in where we go right now, you know, as I go to the mountain right here at the corner. You know, what if the citizen driver presses the accelerator instead of the brake, right? So these are all possibilities of occurrence. So it's possibilities. It's possible. Accidents might happen. So we gotta be prudent, because now I'm in the public, so I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations, which under the normal course of circumstance, it would have not been the same if I would have stayed in my underground room office and temple. The same would have not applied, but of course, it would have not been the same, right? I would have not had the same obligations and duties and responsibilities. Now I'm in the public. I'm no longer just private citizen dragon. I'm also public citizen dragon. I got my liberty, my joy. This is my work, you know. Working with a laptop, doing videos, rock and roll stuff for the butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors 24/7, salooning the firefighters, the truck drivers. Today, beginning the first day of that Thelema for that Thelemites, and we go, of course, to the mountain and gotta get it for the drill. And it's always exciting for me to go to the mountain and proceed to do a little bit of rock and roll and meditations with it, because 24/7 you got with the dragon, rainbow dragon, you got geopolitics. You got, of course, rock and roll, you got gratitude, and of course you got that study of civilization. So here, see, I stop, I turn my head left and right, north, south, because that's, I'm looking on the north now. So while I'm looking on the north, I also got to turn my head in case a citizen driver comes from that side. And of course I got to be extra prudent, because like I said, the brakes do not fully function 100% all the time. Sometimes the brakes do not function properly, so we gotta advise ourselves and take care to be on that check, left and right, check. I do left, right, or east, west, north, south, if you will, but sometimes the intersection is just north, south, or east, west, right? It's not always that the intersection can be, or it can be just one way, north, south, or southwest, or it could be northeast, west, south. It could be four corners, so depending on what type of intersection. And then you got that it could be one way, so they can only go east, or they can only go north, or they can only go south and north, or it can be byways, you know. So right here, see, they got to stop at each corner to give you a complete analysis. Here they got to stop at each corner, so they got to stop. But some corners, they don't have the stop north and south, or they do not have the stop east and west. But here I'm coming from the west. I'm going east, so there's a stop. But what if the brake doesn't work? What if the citizen, by mistake, citizen driver, presses the accelerator instead of the brake? So I turn my head left and right, and I traverse. Look at that beautiful city. See, we're on the mountain already. On the mountain, and you can see the beautiful river, surrounded by a river. We're a metropolis, right? So as I urge everybody who comes here, Montreal, and we got a great city, we got a great river, we got great flora, great fauna, we got great food, great culture, great, well, hockey team, yeah, we got a hockey team, you know, we got a hockey team, so as we got that hockey team, but women's hockey rocks. So our Canadians doing, I don't like to criticize my halves, but give some charity, that's all. If you give some charity halves, 10%, give 1% to support this financially struggling ISP artist to dance before the games or say some rock and roll. You're going to find that it's going to get to little blessings. Winning streaks. Not guaranteed though. Of course, not guaranteed, because, you know, as a survivor of COVID, back celebrating 4 years, I live it every day, carpe diem, with hope for tomorrow. So I just saw some youth, being 17 or whatever, sweet 16, I'm gonna write some rock and roll songs for that sweet 16, that English and that French, rock and roll bilingual. Just saw them a little bit of a holding hands in a beautiful manner, so well, that gave me some hope, because hopefully somebody's loving today. Otherwise, what are we fighting to save for, you know? If somebody not doing some LOV, what are we fighting to save for? Civilization, you know. It's like, go now on this 20th of March, special holiday for yours truly, and being a mystic, rolling with my Papa Crowley, Father Crowley, Papa Crowley. I understood that Crowley, but I'm non-sectarian, so I apply some principles. I say I don't know so many things. I do know the Son is my Pope, the King, the Son is my Pope. My Pope rises in the east, sets in the west, and always rises, always sets, every second somewhere in the world. That's it, that's all rock and roll. So many things I don't know, and sometimes I live a simple, austere, severe 21st century rainbow Spartan lifestyle. And I like my cheese, I like my wine sometimes, and you know, I don't do drug stuff like that, but I still have from years. And during COVID, some, I think maybe 3.5 or possibly 7 joints, legal cannabis. That legal cannabis. That legal cannabis, and I got it on that legal, so it's legal here in Canada. We got good ones, so that's on that 18 plus, you know. So we always gotta get that. Try with the trial and error, and we always gotta get that for the love, you know, for the love, and so it's good when somebody making that LOVE, that good loving, and it's always good when somebody getting for that goal and getting for that, you know, getting for that doing X, doing Y, doing Z, and I always gotta be grateful. Thank you so much, Mercy. I always gotta be grateful, you know. So this is for sale. So if somebody wants to buy this for my anonymous sister friend, and I'm a Swiftie, proudly. But I know somebody who deserves to be 6 times the number before 76, number before 76, number before 76, after 78, 7 times richer than Oprah, Taylor Swift, and of course Taylor Swift, Oprah, and not only Taylor Swift, Oprah, but and the Kardashians. Got love for y'all. Can you work for y'all for that DGA dancing goddess on me and support a dream? The dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, which is my dream fundamentally. When I say my dream and when I express it, support the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, fundamentally what I mean is, of course, a call, the establishment of a public-private partnership based on my philosophies, on theories, and as a universal spiritual teaching student, and as an ASPE artist and athlete, an activist, a philosopher, making way for the children. It's took a rotation, you know, and I give priority to the youth. So I let them take a few steps back, and always like to give priority when I can to the youth, to the senior citizens, and to others as well, because we share this public, and because they're with a little cat, and gotta be my safety and their safety, and turn my head left and right here when I cross the street. See, left and right, twice, because you never know. Like I said, brakes, what if the brakes don't function properly? What if the citizen driver presses the accelerator? What if there are scenarios by mistake the citizen can press the accelerator. Imagine it's a big truck, those picking up the garbage, the compost. Thank you for the service. Thank you. There are athletes as well. I know I'm a pro-labor and love universal revolutionary centrist, and I rock and roll 24/7 for those grocery store clerks, for those picking up the garbage, that sanitation. Gotta get it with that sanitation. Sanitation workers, construction workers, rock and roll, building those buildings, you know, on those cranes, going with that steel, with that metal going on that steel, and that metal going up, with that cranes, enabled with the cranes to us to build a skyscraper. So it's always pleasant when we go see them, and when I see them on the docks, the butchers and the warehouse drivers who drive those carts, and all those involved in the production, distribution of food. I'm always thinking about the truckers now from Mexico, Canada, US, and all the things. I don't have all the answers to all the problems. Myself, at some things I am mediocre, average, and so-so. While I'm average, mediocre, and so-so, I can admire that beauty. Beautiful city, and take a carpe diem and be grateful for such a view, beautiful view down there. Gonna get it for that view, and gonna say that, of course, if I know somebody who deserves to live in houses like this here, well, the greatest woman I know, my anonymous sister friend, and always get that LOV, and always good to go on the road, turn my head left or right before I cross the street. And of course, to live no regrets. And they suffered, struggled, been depressed and suicidal. And what got me out of depression and being suicidal is when I crossed Canada coast to coast. Cross Canada coast to coast. Back in 2017, I was depressed, suicidal. Cross Canada coast to coast. August 2017 of August 2017. 2017th of August. August 2017, and then went by train. When I went to Vancouver, BC, it was by bus, and then went by train. 25 hours exactly and 44 minutes. 25 hours and 44 minutes. 25 hours and 44 minutes, and 6 years and 6 months ago almost. And that event got me out of depression and being suicidal, and I'm calling for the intra-North American financing of citizens to explore tourism and explore what we have, because we got a lot. So that said, I said to myself, so many things to see, to do, to write rock and roll songs, to visit places I've never been, to explore small cities, big cities, myself included. The metropolis of Montreal, 2.5 million people. You see on my marches how big it is, and I only show a little bit of it because it's so much to it. And I roamed it for years with one foot in the streets, one foot in the libraries, one foot in the streets, one foot in the libraries, one foot in the streets, one foot in the libraries. And 6 months ago, that event, crossing Canada coast to coast, coast to coast, coast to coast, I say got me out of depression. So many things to do, to see. So I started working out, training, exercising, taking care of my body. And I got out of depression, being suicidal, but I was hit by COVID. You know, and I was like death, pestilence, and disease. Death, pestilence, and disease. Death, pestilence, and disease. COVID for me. COVID for me was like death, pestilence, and disease. COVID for me was like death, pestilence, and disease. COVID. In February, mid-February till about mid-March. 2020. So I'm celebrating 4 years of having survived COVID. It was very hard hit. So it's past doing COVID recently, past years, I've accepted, I got Asperger's. I'm an Aspie, so I might do repetitive gestures with the hands, with the body, and might repeat things twice, 3 times, say the things twice, or be obsessed. Because we Aspies, people with Asperger's, were obsessed about certain narrow interests. My narrow interest is geopolitics, the study, and I'm an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist. In sports, fitness, dancing is my favorite sport. For sports and fitness in general, created my own workout training program system. And of course, the dancing goddess and the dragon king and the dream. And of course, have also the session about civilizational studies, and I specialize in ancient Sumeria, the ancient Egyptian, and of course the ancient Roman civilization. The ancient Roman civilization. We're gonna enter by this side. We're gonna go by this. Actually, no, I changed my mind. We're gonna go up. We're gonna go by there. But I just want to take a little pictures right there, so because it's beautiful, and want to discuss my DRT theory. The DRT theory soon, which my brothers and sisters is the only solution. And you see the curse of Asperger's. I've made many friends during the past years. Made friends, lost them, made new ones. Made friends, lost them, new ones. Make friends, lost them, new ones. Made friends and lost friends, and made new ones. And that's how it is. And made friends, lost them, and made new ones. This is what it is now. I changed, and sometimes pain, struggle, and it's not easy, and sometimes we gotta get that drill, and I gotta say that, as an Aspie, I predicted the geopolitical analysis. My geopolitical analysis had predicted what's happening now back in 2019. So with all the imperfections I have, flaws and vices, and Asperger's, and the curse of Asperger's made me that I'm super focused in an intense, obsessive way by several narrow interests, and those main ones for me are geopolitics. I got that geopolitics 24/7, rock and roll, and got that fitness obsession. Dancing is my favorite sport, and got the obsession about, of course, civilizational studies, and got the obsession, of course, about public hygiene. As I go now, and gonna wait for that light, I gotta say that back in 2019, in October, I did an in-depth geopolitical analysis, and back then, of course, had concluded that we humanity are set on a course, on a path towards an international conflagration, and so created the workout training program system to go hand in hand with such a scenario. I really love those buildings. These buildings here, their architecture rocks, and if somehow by a public-private partnership, I love them to be part of a building supercomputers here and other places, and to be the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom part of the headquarters right here, with the possibility around about the mountain of Mount Royal itself. And you know, the island is really all I know, as much as I am a world peace advocate, and I've read civilizations, geopolitics, and fitness as much as I have that knowledge as an independent philosopher and geopolitical analyst and theorist and independent fitness captain. Mostly what I know is this island, 2.5 million people, north and south. Outside the island, Metropolis is a big island city, right? Montreal reached 1 million in 1931. So all the island that I know is basically the island of Montreal. There's so many things I don't know. I know about education, and I can say that the major geopolitical event of the week is Vladimir Putin's re-election. Vladimir Putin's re-election. You know, I had predicted the geopolitical events, not exactly as they're happening, but in a parallel way, in a very, very, very similar manner, and in a general manner, had predicted an international conflagration. And so made and produced that workout training program system to go with such an event. You know, because it's something which, of course, I did based on my analysis, and being an ASPE who has that obsession, part of my obsession is the study and the analysis of geopolitics, and I'm an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist, and can provide in-depth analysis on that, on demand, on request, blah, blah, 24/7, rock and roll, farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, and all involved in the production and the distribution of food. And right here at the corner of the mountain, loving me some of that beautiful. I wonder how much is rent to pay there, but it's kind of beautiful how it is, eh? Yeah, man. The architecture is kind of gives you a feel of, I know, just really nice. I will need some color though, but definitely I like it. You can see you can go up. It kind of looks a little bit like a chateau, a little bit picturesque, you know, but it's kind of nice. I really, really like it a lot. How it's done. I don't know, it's just nice. I love it. Fellow citizen jogging, and anybody want to support that I go up these stairs, gotta stay to the right side, but nonetheless, I would love, of course, the support. I'll go up and down these stairs with some good of that rock and roll, and I always like when I see people doing a little bit of that exercising, and you can see the river. There you can see the river surrounding the island. You can see the river, of course, and now I'm at the base of the mountain. I just want to check how long it took me to get here. Let's see, because of course it is a certain amount of time, but see, 1 hour 23 minutes, 1 hour 23 minutes, 1 hour 23 minutes it took me to get here to the mountain. So if anybody want to finance, I can go up and down these stairs for a cause of your choosing, for whatever event you might so desire and wish, but I can go up and down these stairs for a cause, for your family, your cause, LGBTQ, world peace, Quebec culture, and whatever the case may be. And for whatever the case may be. I can go up and down these stairs with rock and roll. So, see, I don't mean to stare at other citizens, but that's one of the Asperger conditions of Aspies, is that we have a tendency to stare. So I'm always working on my Asperger's not to repeat, not to stare, not to be in conversation, not to be overly intense and obsessed about certain issues of course, that concern me, such as geopolitics, and which is my obsession, but of course to be mindful of that. So Asperger's is something that I'm working on it 24/7, and of course gotta still work on it 24/7 as I go, and I am now on the mountain. The air already got fresher. The air's fresher, kind of on that cleaner, but I gotta take maybe off a little bit because now I'm getting on that HOT hot, so I got maybe a little bit of extra, too much extra, so I already got on that sweat. So next bench we're gonna take off that red garment underneath, and once again, as I made it here, I gotta say I'm grateful, thankful. Rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, and always saluting firefighters of North America, the butchers, the bakers, the truckers delivering the service, the nurses. Always thinking about them, and always thinking about what they're doing and all the activities, from the daycares to those on the cranes building skyscrapers, to those in the daycares changing diapers, to that Wall Street. Wall Street, if you made $1 million today, give 10%, or if you will make $1 million tomorrow, give 10% of $1 million charity. 10% is 100,000. You can divide it by 4. 25,000 for food security, 25,000 for LGBTQ issues, 25,000 for women's sports leagues, and 25,000 for environmental causes. You can donate that, and 4 different causes. Oh, there's that crow. Flipping, you know that I love the crows, and now we got a little bit more of that white snow. I love the black crows in the white snow, and I play sing a rainbow. I love the white crows in the black crows in the white snow, and I play a rainbow. I love the black crows in the white snow, and I play a rainbow. Yesterday, of course, we came, and yesterday we didn't come. It was on Monday. Monday, and yesterday we came, and it was Monday. We came Monday. Today's Wednesday. Not yesterday. Yesterday when we just went for a jog. On Monday it was snowing, and now we got a little bit of snow left. And I gotta take a picture in the sun of the beautiful black crows, and the crows are my only fans for the moment. And pledge your allegiance, thou art family. That is the rock and roll song as we teleport, blah blah blah, XYZ. Nothing to do if not about love, and always love, action, love, blah blah, goodness and kindness, blah blah. And always important to be grateful. My brothers and sisters, civilization is a privilege. You know, civilization is a privilege. Civilization is a privilege. I gotta give a shout out to Hydro-Quebec workers of the past, building those dams, opening the new complex. A lot of men. I got clean water, electricity, and of course hot water, electricity. I'm doing this video now with clean, zero pollution, zero emission energy, and of course that got that hot water, got that clean water, running water. So it's always something which we got to keep in mind, that we got, of course, to take care and to, of course, see the crow says go dragon go, telling that dragon rainbow. Say I love you too, crow. The only fans I got is the crows, and all my allies and armies. Pledge your allegiance, legions are my family, and I always love a beautiful wolf like that. Kind of that dog looking like a wolf. And you see, now it's shining even more, the sun, and getting a little bit of that sun in my eyes with the snow. So super important for me to put back those glasses, and we're gonna switch to that French because we're not that province, but I'm gonna of course narrow it down to put down these for the protection of the eyes, because you never know. And we go blah 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 blah, and we go for that drill, but I'm gonna put on this, and we're gonna go put on that on the side. We're gonna put it on. Let's go for that drill. Let's go for that. was getting a little bit on the HOT, so I gotta take a little bit down, you know, drift down, because now we made it to the mountain. Glad to see joggers jogging on this day. It is a bit on the chilly side, but not so chilly. Supposed to drop overnight. It's gonna possibly do a little drop, and so every time as I go right here to the lair of the dragon. From the lair of the dragon to here is about, depending which route I take. This route is about 8 kilometers. It can be 11 kilometers or 13.3. I take different routes, different ways to get here, but the one that I took today is about maybe 8 kilometers. 8 kilometers. Let's go. Fellow Thelemites today. We're gonna put on the backpack first, and for my fellow Thelemites today and Thelemites today, and it's 24/7 rock and roll from the lair of the dragon. As we go, put it on the backpack, and we put on that backpack has about, I'll say, between 22 pounds and 44 pounds today. Between 22 pounds and 42 pounds. Between 22 pounds and 44 pounds today. And we gotta get it for that drill. Get that in it and pull it in and pull it out as we go. Roundabout, let's go for that drill on the side, and we are going to put on the scarf, red scarf, putting it for sale, the red scarf for $1 million to give half to my anonymous sister friend, blah blah. Challenging Tyson Fury, ready to rock and roll Tyson Fury in the ring right here. Build the ring, let's go. Give half, 50% to my anonymous sister friend as I am on the go now as we go for that drill. And the beautiful sun right here, and super expose. We always love to get it on the go, and gotta get a little bit of that rock and roll right here, and discuss my Trinity of theories, and of course discuss the CIT and the death fusion theory for the creation of the UE. And you get a sense of nature here again when you come here. Please do not pollute, do not leave garbage. Do not leave plastics, put them in the garbage bag, put the recycling for the recycling. If you got compost somewhere over there, there's compost, so please make an effort, because I come here every time I go in the forest and I do my share of volunteering to clean that recycling and clean that parts, and always of course important to clean and to get that parts clean and to get that parts on the clean and on the go. So it's super important to not leave trash as I go. Look at that beautiful sun. Isn't it beautiful? Wow. Look at that beautiful sky. Bonjour, vous êtes à cheval monté bien comme faut? Avec le beau soleil, regardez ça. Ciao, ciao. And that was that on the horse. As that SPVM on the horse, they gotta get it for the go. They gotta get it for that go, and they gotta get it for that low, you know. So it's getting on that horse and get it for that low, and you get it for that beautiful on the snow. There we go. See, it's a beautiful on the horse mounted at. Somebody gotta sing a little bit for that public security, you know, and they're going on that mountain. Beautiful. Wow, what a beauty. I guess you gotta check. If you don't look, you're not gonna see it, you know. But sometimes you gotta just appreciate it. The environment, you get the environment right here. You get the environment right here, you know. Get the environment right here. So you gotta see that beautiful. You just gotta see. It looks like a beautiful eye. You know? We gotta get that beautiful eye. So gotta get that for that drill. But look at that beautiful, isn't it? Just super nice. Gotta sing it for the Thelemic Nation today, for the butchers and the bakers, for that sunrise and that sunset. You gotta see it. That's the love and no regrets. On the mountain that I sing it, Rainbow Dragon, that's the flip it. Rainbow Dragon, that's the flip it. I can boogie with that disco, that you know you bet it. I don't gamble, that's a rumble. Hey, I ain't got no balls, so I can't fumble. Gotta get it for that OT. Overtime, you know the dragon, that's just me. As we go overtime, every time in the lair of the dragon, and from the lair of the dragon here, and Here you get the whisk of nature, saluting my citizen, you know, proving my cousin, it's Quebecers, Canadians, North Americans, you're my family, and sometimes we're dysfunctional, but of course we're dysfunctional, sometimes myself included, but I gotta check my Aspie symptoms not to stare, you know, but who knows what the fellow, you know, nobody's perfect, we're working on our things, you know, we made the great compromise of the, what I call the great linguistic compromise of the French language, and of course the great linguistic compromise of the French language, the North American collective civilization, what I call the great linguistic compromise. Look at that beauty. I just gotta sing a little bit. I just gotta sing just a little bit. A little bit for that son on Montreal, you know that we rock and roll ready. We're gonna do a little bit of rock and roll. Hey, I'm on the mountain, dragon, you know that I sing that rock and roll. Sometimes you just gotta look up, see the sky, and that's my Pope. That's the King, my Pope, that sun is shining. On the horses, mountains on the block. Montreal, you know, metropolis, that's a rock. TikTok, build me some satellites, dragon army in the sky. Get it for now and don't forget tomorrow. Get it for that love. Get it for that sunset on the mountain. You know, that's what I said. Mountain and that mountain, building the house of the dragon. By my own hands, I say build it. By the will and by the love. It love is will and that Thelemites. Thelemites, you know that we crash like the sun shines on the smites. The smites and termites. Getting on the steel toe boots without a bite. That's the snake and that's the hawk. That's the lion. That's a fact. Facts me, a fact check. I got kisses by the trillions. Kisses by the trillions with some tickles, that's what with it. For the farmers and the butchers and the bakers and the nurses, always salute those firefighters, hey. On the lakes up in the spitting fire, up the lakes up in the spitting fire, that's the construction workers on those cranes. That I salute the public workers with aqueducts, you know they're sitting. For the farmers and the butchers, for the farmers and the butchers, for the look up in the lookers, for the look up in the lookers, for those butchers butching up, for those butchers looking up, for those construction, that's what's up in the block, for the rain up in the talk, for the rain up in the bark. Up in another way, up in another say, up in another pray. What's that rainbow dragon slay? Rainbow dragon with a crow. That's the legions, that's tomorrow. Don't wait for it tomorrow. Wait for the love today. Waiting for the love to pray. Waiting for the love to say. That's the rock and roll up in the bay. That's the rock and roll up in they say. That's the rock and roll up in they lanes. Up in the ways, up in the days. Gotta switch it on the plane. On the plane, up in the flames. That's the rock and roll they said. And I'm looking, that's the hey. That's my hat up in the okay. That's my cat up in the hay. That's the lost the hat from the winds up in the goddess say 93 televised days. Gonna do a little bit of that French rock and roll now. French rock and roll. Et regardez en haut le ciel, le dragon arc-en-ciel vous chante sur la montagne. Hey, pour les infirmières, les aqueducs qui les chantent des travailleurs publics, le ciel regarde le soleil. Que ça brille, que mon pape à la danse, ah ouais, c'est la montagne, puis du ciment, puis du béton, puis ça avance. Ça sent bon, mais c'est jambon, du vin, puis ben du thon, du guitare, puis ça sonne, la Renaissance, 21e siècle. Ben des satellites dans les aéroports, les camionneurs qui traversent, puis ça fasse encore une autre danse, bien des nuages, mais ça se dégage, avec l'arc-en-ciel, là. C'est pas grave s'il chante, avec du rock'n'roll, ça bouge. Si ça bouge, ça fait rien, mais ça avance. Et que ça fasse de la ciel, et que ça fasse le bordel, et que ça fasse de l'amour. Si vous ne parlez pas de je veux rien savoir, merci, bonjour. Et un autre que ça danse, et une autre que ça fasse, et une autre que ça fasse, puis ça danse sans gêne, puis ça fasse sans laine, puis ça fasse la veine, puis ça fasse des veines vertes. Comme il faut du soleil, comme il faut que ça soit de garde, comme il faut que ça soit de l'eau et du jambon. La rivière des montagnes, ça s'écrase en construction, du béton puis du ciment, du jardin, ah ouais donc, fait ça face les camions, hey, comme un don, regardez le soleil brille. Sur la montagne, une chanson, bien comme faut. Puis ça fasse, puis ça gêne, puis ça danse, puis ça regarde, puis ça fasse, ensemble. Des pas pour l'avance, que ça soit en transe. Et regarde. Un autre, deux, trois pas par année, puis ça avance en recul. Le soleil brille, corbeau qui me salue, les dragons légion en arc-en-ciel, peut-être allégeance de famille. Le soleil, le pape brille, la Thelema, je dis ben. Hey, that was a little bit of rock and roll in this rock and roll 24/7 and hello to them. We gotta sing it as we go, and we gotta always sing that song, you know, always sing a new song, and it's rock and roll 24/7. That's all that's happening with me, really. And you know, when asked me, so gotta not stare, gotta work on my staring at people, you know, it's something, a condition, you know. So there's no medication for Asperger's, you know, there's no medication for Asperger's. There's no medication for Asperger's. There's absolutely no medication for Asperger's, you know. So being that there's no medication, I gotta work on my symptoms, not stare at people, not stare too much, not to be in discussions, not to be overly obsessed about my topics of interest, which are geopolitics, 24/7, dance. Dancing is my favorite sport, and of course geopolitics, dancing, and not just geopolitics and dancing, but of course the study of civilization, civilizational studies, and all these things which we have, of course, and which of course are part of us in our civilization being a privilege. And now it's getting a little bit on that windy, so I might put on the toque, but first I gotta go get that hydrate, go to the top. And now I'm gonna discuss the DRT, detrofusion theory, because my brothers and sisters, there's no other solution but my DRT theory. Even the crow says yes. If the crow says yes, then you know we in it. And of course the detrofusion theory is of course the only solution as I am here, and of course only solution that I can present, and the only solution that I know to be for the current financial economic crises where we're heading, and where many of us live in a financial precariousness, myself included, and many, but I'm grateful, thankful my rent's paid for the month of March, paid my rent, paid my electricity bill, got food and coffee. So, and you know, I got you here, my family, and I always like when I see people working out, training and exercising. It always brings me some joy, and to get it on the exercise, and saluting the fellow citizens there who make an effort to jog, and always brings me some pleasure. But anyways, my DRT theory is the only solution, and salute the people who jog. And somebody wearing red, my favorite color, so here's somebody wearing red. I stare a little bit too much, so I'm into stare. I'll get Asperger's, and I mean no harm, you know. Only play that defense, and you know, you can say anything, but you know, I'm not allowed to make threats. But I fight my own fights anyways, fight my own battles. If first Donald Trump in a boxing match, Tyson Fury, or Tyson Fury first, then Donald Trump, and then whoever wants next. But anyways, I'm gonna discuss the DRT theories. I go to the top of the mountain. I mean, I'm at the top of the mountain, and I'm already here and already get it for the top. But we're gonna need to go topper, a little bit on the up, and to the Belvedere, and I feel good. The air, you can feel the freshness here of the air. You got that freshness of the air here, and it's always good to feel the freshness of the air with that Eddie. Yeah. You can smell, you can get it on that drill. So always super important to exercise, and I'm happy I see people who came, made an effort, although it's a bit on the chilly side. It's super important. So once again, I'm gonna discuss the DRT theory, but before I do, I want to of course say my gratitude as I go to the top of Belvedere. Grateful, thankful that my rent's paid, electricity bill is paid, got food and coffee. Grateful, thankful that my rent's paid, electricity bill is paid, and got food and coffee. Grateful, thankful, rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee. Somebody going on that jog there, super important. So the DRT theory for the creation of the UE. So once again, this March Rock&Roll session is dedicated for my fellow Thelemites. Today starts a special 22-day of Thelema as we're gonna march, clean my room off St. Temple to the mountain, and as we go now, of course, it's 24/7 rock and roll, and discuss the DRT theory. So what is the DRT theory? The DRT theory stands, of course, for debt, refusion theory, and is my theory, which of course includes what's called monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory is exactly what was done in the European Union. Germans got rid of the mark, Deutschmark. France got rid of the francs. The Italians got rid of the lira. So they got rid of those currencies and they did what's called in finance monetary integration. They applied monetary integration theory. So keep in mind that my theory, the DRT, of course includes what's called monetary integration theory, which is of course a theory proponing and discussing monetary integration, which of course they did in Europe, and which my of course DRT theory of course includes the debt refusion theory. So yours truly gonna take a look at that birdie, gonna take a little bit of look at that and get it for that drill and get it for my fellow citizens who do that jog. So now I'm going to show you where we are financially in points of view, where of course and I got to loosen up my hair a little bit, maybe less cold on the ears. Now I made it to the mountains, so I can loosen up, get a loose rock and roll. So the DRT theory, and this I can say that I present to the table with love, and due to the fact the curse of Asperger's, maybe that I have obsessions, and one of that obsessions is of course the study of civilizations, and the study of civilizations of course includes of course getting a little bit of that DRT, and it's the curse of Asperger's, you know, has some blessings, and this is why I present a blessing not just for me but for you too, and for many others. So the DRT debt refusion theories of course includes monetary integration theory. So monetary integration theory is exactly what was done in the European Union. So this is where we are now with the debt. This is the servicing of the debt, the public servicing debt, right? So this is the public debt which we gotta service, the debt in terms of paying the interest on the debt, right? So this is the servicing, in other words, paying the interest on the debt. So this is in 2020, 2021, it was 28.3 billion. See, 20.3 billion, 20.3 billion. That was the amount of interest which we paid on the debt. See, 20.3 billion, 20.3 billion, 20.3 billion, servicing the debt, paying the interest on the debt, paying the interest on the debt, right? Paying the interest on the debt, paying the interest on the debt, paying the interest on the public debt. Look at that. 2020, 2021, it was 20.3 billion. It has more than doubled. This year, 2023, 2024, it's 46.5 billion. So my brothers and sisters, this is economic financial catastrophe. There's no other way. This is economic financial catastrophe, right? So the fact that paying the interest has more than doubled, the fact that paying the interest has more than doubled, the fact that paying the interest has more than doubled. So the fact that now we pay, this year we're going to pay 46.5 billion in interest, that's more than doubled, right? So more than doubled in, of course, paying the service and the interest, right? Paying the interest on the debt. So that's what we pay, and that's what we pay on the interest now. And so there's no other solution but my DRT theory, which of course there's no other solution but my DRT theory. This is my DRT theory. There we go. Wow. Wow. See, that's the pyramid there. That's my favorite skyscraper. See, that's their favorite one. That pyramid there. Imagine how many they were building, how they were building, and how much it took for us to build all that, all the brains and muscles. So for me, this is the greatest city on the planet. I just love coming here to view. If you come experience this, you gotta come and check it out and see all the river and see all the bridges. And you can see all, of course, all the way to the mountains, eh? You see the mountain ranges? That's small Saint Bruno, and there's several mountain ranges that are there. So those are actually far, far away. Those mountains are really far away, but we can actually visibly see them, especially with the pictures that I take, of course, and gotta get it for that drill, and we also gotta get it. Wow. See, they're building some more skyscrapers, so I'm hoping to build a lot up and to get a little bit of that. Wow, look at that. Very nice. So anyways, the DRT theory for the creation of the U is the only solution where we are now, and we get it for that drill, and we get it for that drill, and we get it for that rock and roll, of course, and they get it for some tourists here. It's always fun to see people coming here. They get it for that, to enjoy the view here, because this is my second home, and I love coming here, and I love seeing the view, and I love seeing people here and enjoying themselves and having fun here. It's always nice, and this is like my therapy coming here for me. I always feel good, and I always feel super good when I come here, and especially when I exercise and when I come here, it's always feel good. I always admire and meditate how they were built, all those, and we need to build more. By the DRT theory implemented, we're gonna build some more skyscrapers, rebuild the infrastructure, blah 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 blah, and we're gonna do that drill up and down and see. That is all saluting the firefighters, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks. Salute the firefighters, the butchers, the bakers, LOV, the firefighters, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, the grocery store clerks, all involved in the production and the distribution of food, all those on the roads now, truckers meditating across North America, all the big cities, all the public works. Thank you. To also pick up the garbage every week. Public services. We love our butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, firefighters, all those involved in the distribution and the production of food. Yours truly. All those. So super important. So the DRT theory, again, I'm going to show how much we pay interest. So this is the amount of interest that we pay. 2021, it was 20.3 billion. We now we're going to pay this year 46.5 billion. A billion is 1,000 million. So these are the official numbers from the Bank of Canada. These are the official Bank of Canada numbers, of course, the official Bank of Canada numbers, and these are the numbers which we pay on the debt servicing, right? This is the debt servicing, paying the interest. So more than double, 20.3, double would have been 2 times 2 would have been 40.6. We now pay 46.5 billion. A billion is 1,000 million. So there's no other way but my DRT theory, which I'm going to now explain, and these you can check online. Bank of Canada, Bank of Canada, Bank of Canada, Bank of Canada, Bank of Canada. This is the Bank of Canada official number, CBC, CBC, blah, blah. So the debt refusion theory explains simply, it's taking all private and public debt. My debt as a public citizen, I got 10,500. My debt, your debt, all the debt. Canadian debt, all the debt of Canada. Private and public. My 10,000, your 10,000, add it all up. Canada, US, Mexico, Haiti, all the countries of the collective North American civilizational complex, all the countries of North America. And since the fact that the United States dollar, the USA bill, is still the currency of choice for world trade, global business, and import-export, do the conversion. Canadian dollars to US dollar, Mexican pesos to US dollars, and Haitian gourd, and add it all up. And that number will be the initial money supply for a new central bank, and will set an interest rate level of 10%, 10%, 10% thereafter. And of course, we're going to freeze the prices, freeze all the prices of the goods, the bacon, the cheese at that point in time starting today. So take all private and public debt. That number will be the initial money supply, and we'll set an interest rate level of 10%. 10% maximum 10% thereafter. It could be 3.33, 1.56, 7.18, 4.18, whatever the number is. So we're going to be able to do that. I'm just going to go hydrate, salute the public workers who build a little bit of aqueducts, so that with these aqueducts, yours truly going to get it for here and got to get it for that water, you know? So once again, the DRT theory explained. Take all the public and the private debt. My private debt is 10,500. Your debt, our debt, all the debt put together combined, all the debt combined. And since the United States dollar is still the currency of choice for world business, world trade, global commerce, I'm just going to put that hat on. So the United States dollar still is the currency of choice. So take all the public and the private debt, refuse it. That means convert it to US dollars, put it all, add it up all together. And it's going to be that initial money supply for this new global central bank, North American central financial institution. It can be transatlantic with our brothers and sisters across NATO, whatever the case may be, and the new alliance for the creation of the UE to implement the DRT theory, the debt refusal theory. Take all private and public debt, refuse it, create what I call the universal exchange unit, preferably by biometrics, the UE equal to the United States dollar, preferably by biometrics, the hand, the voice, and the eye being unique biometric identifiers. But that's what I'm calling out my astrological brother Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and all financial institutions, BlackRock, Blackstone, and BlackRock. It's not the same, but it's my Scorpio brother Larry Fink, calling on my Scorpio brother Joe Biden, calling on my Scorpio brother Larry Fink and Joe Biden, and of course, all those, doesn't matter if they're Scorpio or not, Scorpio brother Joe Biden and Larry Fink, and all those, of course, Larry Fink, Joe Biden, and of course, yeah, the Scorpio, Joe Biden, and Bill Gates, and of course Larry Fink of BlackRock. BlackRock and Blackstone are different. So in other words, all the public and the private financial institutions to cooperate for the creation of the UE. So once again, I'm going to explain it. So take all the public and the private debt. My private debt is $10,500. My debt added up, convert the Canadians' public and private debt to US dollars, all that number, put it in, bundle it up together, create what I call the universal exchange unit, probably by biometrics, and it's going to be equal to the US dollar. So all the debt, the public and the private debt, created of course by biometrics, and all that debt will be the initial money supply for this new central bank financial institution. So all the debt, the public and the private debt of all citizens, refuse it, whatever the number is, and create a global economic or North American central bank, preferably by biometrics, like I said. So all the debt, the public and the private debt, of myself included, $10,500, add it all up of Canada, convert it to US dollar, Mexican peso, public and private debt of Mexico peso, Haitian gourd, and all that, add it all up, do the refusion. So add it all up, convert it to US dollar, and all that money, the public and the private debt, will be the initial money supply for a new global financial institution, a new global central bank, a new financial institution, in other words, a global central bank, a new financial institution, a global central bank, which will issue the UE. UE stands for U.E.U. Universal Exchange Unit, based on the US dollar. So that's the solution. The only solution which we have now, as I showed you, clear in facts, how much money we pay, how much money we pay, how much money we pay in interest. So we pay all that money in all that interest, all that money in the interest which we pay, and of course the money which we pay in that interest is of course so much that of course we gotta keep paying it, and it's more than double, and it's gonna keep growing. So there's no other way. But my theory, and I present this, being an Aspie, obsessed with the study of civilizations, and the curse of Asperger's made me that I study that, and study public finance is part of the studying civilizations, and and that's the DRT theory came out of that kind of curse into a blessing, if you will, not just for myself but for all of us. So the DRT, debt refusion theory, for the creation of the UE. So take all the public and the private debt, refuse it, whatever the number is, whatever the number is in the UE, and create what I call, of course, the universal exchange unit, preferably by biometrics. So the universal exchange unit, preferably by biometrics, being the hand, the voice, and the unique biometric identifiers, and of course to create the universal exchange unit could be both biometric, digital, biometric, and currency, as we have now with the coins and the bills, the coins and those bills. So once again, the DRT, I say this with a passion and utmost 100% conviction. So many other things I don't know, but I do know that where we are now, financially, we gotta go for the left, for the right, in the center, for the left, for the right, for the center, for the left, right, and center. But the DRT theory is the only solution. So take all public and private debt, refuse it. So all the debt, the public and the private debt, all that number, add it all up together, convert the Canadian debt of the public and the private is going to be in Canadian dollars, converted to US, the Mexican peso be in pesos, converted to US dollar, the Haitian gourd converted to US dollar, and that would be the initial money supply of this new global central bank to issue this new currency of exchange called the Universal Exchange Unit, the UE. Based on the US dollar, we're going to freeze all the prices, standardize prices of chocolate, prices of bacon, prices of goods. The goods and services standardized are going to fight off inflation, and that's the solution. The public-private partnership support a dream. Adrian Dragon's dream, the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. The DRT is the only solution. Right here we reach top of the mountain. Here is where I will to build the Forgotten Goddess temple, right here face to face with the House of the Dragon support. All I need is 3 rooms, sleeping quarters, a kitchen, and of course a bathroom with a bathtub. And of course right here I need the Forgotten Goddess temple face to face in a circle around about 7 stories high, of course, to build the Forgotten Goddess temple for full moons, events such as dancing and singing, and to be the headquarters of the DGA Dancing Goddess Army for North America and the Dragon Army. Here all I need is a pyramid, 3 rooms, a sleeping quarters right here. All I need is a sleeping quarters and a bathroom with a bathtub, and of course a kitchen with a kitchen right here, kitchen, bathtub, and of course bathtub in the bathroom and a kitchen, and of course sleeping quarters. Pyramid, simple, austere, severe, red, scarlet is that red, and face to face with the Forgotten Goddess. Support the DRT, brothers and sisters. There's no other way but my DRT theory, the solution for the creation of a new currency based on the US dollar. As I'm calling all to support the Dancing Goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, here to build the Forgotten Goddess temple face to face with the House of the Dragon, right there face to face. Anyways, the DRT theory discussed once again. So the DRT theory stands for debt refusion theory. It includes what's called in financial theory monetary integration. Is exactly what they did in the European Union. So in Germany they got rid of the Deutsche Mark, in France they got rid of the franc, in Italy they got rid of the lira. So of course they integrated their currencies, and that is monetary integration applied. The theory put into practice, as I'm calling for my theory, the DRT, to be put into practice. And of course my theory, the DRT, debt refusion theory, includes monetary integration theory, So take all the debt, public and the private debt, all the debt, public and the private, all the debt, the public and the private debt, all that number, Canadian public and private debt, converted to US dollars, added with the US dollar debt, because the US is already in the US dollars already. So all the public and the private debt of the US, added with the Canadian dollar debt, Mexican pesos, and of course Haitian gourd, add it all up, put it all together in a bundle, and that number will be the initial money supply for a new global central bank, for a new North American integrated. It could be transatlantic with our brothers and sisters in NATO, transatlantic, even including other countries. Mexico can become 33rd country of NATO, or other, we're going to expand that NATO. We got 32 countries now. Sweden just joined up, saluting those NATO, blah, blah, blah. Forces who get that drill on those mountains in Operation Dragon in Poland, and of course they being the biggest drill ever that's been since the end of the Cold War in 1991. So for more than 30 something years it hasn't been a drill like this. For more than 30 years NATO has not done a similar drill. It was a major exercise, you know. So I predicted this back in 2019. So anyways, back in 2019 I predicted it, and now here we are on that, supporting the DRT as I go to the mountains. So the debt refusion theory stands for DRT, debt refusion theory, for the creation of the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit. But once again, take all the public and the private debt, take all the public and the private debt, take all the public and the private debt, take all the public and the private debt. Canada, United States, Mexico, convert it to US dollars, add it all up. That number will be the initial money supply for a new global central bank, which will issue the UE and will set an interest rate level of 10%. It could be 3.33, 7.18, 7.74, 4.18, 9.3, whatever the number is. So yours truly, that is the only solution as we are now. The only solution that we have now, the only solution as we have now, the only solution that we have now, the only solution that we have now, the only solution, the DRT cross NATO. See that little bit of the storm coming, and I don't mind. Sometimes the storm needs to cleanse a little bit, cleanse. I got my own cleaning to do. I did scrub the toilet earlier, gotta scrub it again, and not perfect. I get dirty, no need to scrub dirt on me. Secret services of Russia, secret services of China. I put it on the table. I love my BDSM switch, you know. Got that androgynous rainbow, gay, androgynous, pansexual, dragon is rainbow dragon. Love my BDSM switch. Love my BDSM, bondage, domination, sadomasochism, and love my BDSM switch. I love to be whipped. My private life, whatever the case may be, and again, androgynous, pansexual, so no need. I get dirty, but I get back clean. Royal Regal Lofty. Thelemites unite, yours truly. From the mountain, North American, blah, blah, blah. Encourage all to work out, train, exercise. Support the DRT, debt refusion theory, for the creation, of course, of the universal exchange unit. And of course, like I said, preferably biometrics, and of course support the DRT, the only solution. There's no other solution but my debt refusion theory. Take all public and private debt, refuse it, create what I call, of course, a universal exchange unit, and of course get it for that drill. And it's work 24/7 work, and so is work as I go now on YouTube, and this is my work as an independent fitness captain athlete, and coming from civilization to nature, and we got to get that balance, civilization and nature, to be in equilibrium, in harmony, and nature and civilization got to go together, and being mindful, of course, and being grateful that my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee, and challenging Donald Trump to a boxing match, Tyson Fury, and get it for that drill, and get it for that rock and roll. And yours truly, right now you can see how big it is, the big city right here. Big metropolis, always for the workers, the butchers, the bakers, seeing my fellow citizens getting on that jog now. Super important for them to get a little bit of that exercise, and we're gonna speak a little bit of that French because we liable prevention. Always like when I see people working out, training, exercising, and it's super good for the body. It clears the mind, great for mental health. Come here to do a little bit of jog, hiking here. You see, you just gotta be careful because of course we got so many branches that have fallen and possibility for more branches to fall right there. So if you do go there as I go in the woods, just gotta be careful when you go navigate. Yours truly as I go for that drill 24/7 from the lair of the dragon right here to the mountain. Fellow joggers there, you're doing good. Among the few who came, made an effort. Sometimes an effort is required, just as we made, of course, the effort with the French language, the great linguistic compromise, the great linguistic compromise, the great linguistic compromise of the French language, of course, to get it on that French and get it for the go and get it for that XYZ and get it for that drill. You know, it's always drill, and it's always encouragement to work out, and how can we'll continue to call for the mass financing of citizens to work out, to train and to exercise, and working out, training, exercising has been, is, and shall continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice, as of course super important. Does great wonders for the body, and saluting the citizens. You're among the few who came, made an effort. I guess the weather kind of chilly, but looking kind of stormy, but I don't mind storm. Like, looking like thunder. I rock and roll a bit with that thunder and that storm, although rainbow comes after the storm, so it's always good to give myself, because I got work, I'm a work in progress myself. I don't have pretenses, you know, that pretense and pretentious pretenses that I don't have lusts and hidden secrets and lusts and fears. And if you really want to know, 18 plus, and I did masturbate. Nobody's close. I did masturbate this morning. I masturbated this morning. Yeah. There you go, voila. And I fantasized that I was getting a bit. I like my BDSM stands for bondage, domination, submission. No need to spy me. Stasi are gone after 1989. That Mossad, whatever the case. I got this sign and I fight my own battles. And I get a little bit degraded, you know. My private life, I like to with consent, and hygiene. I like BDSM stands for bondage, domination, submission, and masochism. And I'm a switch. So I like to be degraded, you know, and brings me joy. That was my fantasy. If you really want to know, I said 18 plus and R-rated, but you know, it's a little bit on that R-rated side. So, anyways, I just watched a fitness video, so my sister got more than I did. My sister got away on YouTube with more than I did. But I'm not perfect, you know. Sexual healing is important. Sexual education is important. Part of everything we got as a civilization. And I like my wafers, chocolate wafers, and hazelnut wafers, and strawberry. Vanilla sometimes, but mostly that red strawberry and hazelnut and chocolate. So I like sweets. I like stuff like that. And I like candies, I like sweet stuff, you know, I like that good bacon, but hasn't been a while, I couldn't afford it, but I gotta salute those pig farmers, you know, pig, poultry farmers, daycare, those who are in that milk, you know. Food security starts with the farmers, and so many things I don't know, you know. In a pile of life, I'm a super scientist, and I know that that's starting now to snow, so I gotta get it for that before it starts snowing too much. I gotta get underneath that place there, that house where we can work out, train, exercise without being damaging to my work tool, which is the laptop. So we're gonna do a little bit of jog down there, and then we're gonna close it and head back to headquarters, you know. So anyways, as I am on the mountain here, you know, on the boots, and I like to come here and meditate, and I'm always thinking about what's happening now, from the daycares to the hospitals to the public works to the firefighters. Somebody finance those nurses and those firefighters a massage therapy session, because I could use a good massage therapy, but you know, they deserve it more than me, firefighters and the nurses, you know. And I've been struggling. I had employments and then laid offs and all that, you know, being an aspie. So I struggled financially, and I struggled financially. So I'm now struggling financially, and yours truly, rock and roll. So we gotta go on that drill as we go, rock and roll. So here we go. I'm gonna take it through here, so just gotta be careful not to slip, because it's of course slippery. So we gotta go down rock and roll, and we gotta go. Gotta be careful because it's slippery, so I gotta be my double care here, because I know that I don't recommend to take this path if you're not familiar with the road here. It's kind of on that wild, but I know it because this is my second home, my mountain, so I know my mountain, and I am just gonna slow down a little bit and watch my step. But again, I say I encourage all to work out, train and exercise. And yes, sometimes I discuss sexuality because it's important, and I'm only friends with benefits now, and if I do marry somebody, it's gonna be only greatest woman I know. I asked already, I proposed, but gonna propose again, so getting a contract, so getting that contract for 7 years, whatever, three, and it could be up to 3.5 years, whatever the case may be, but it's super important, of course, to, yeah, but if I do marry somebody, it will be my anonymous sister friend in an open BDSM switch, rainbow marriage, blah blah blah. So it's not easy, we gotta also channel. It's important, like I say. It's not only aggression, and yes, myself, I do have aggression, myself included. I do have aggression. I have aggression, but my brothers and sisters, I channel it. Here, I gotta be careful not to slip. My brothers and sisters, I sublimate the aggression and sexuality. I channel the aggression and the sexuality. I channel. Wow, is that what I think it is? I think that's a ground. That's a groundhog. I think that's a groundhog. Groundhog. See? It says moving. I don't know how visible it is on the camera, but anyways, I'm not sure that was a groundhog, but I think it was. It kind of looked up. It looked kind of peeked over here, and then it kind of like went back in it. But it could have been a squirrel. But the squirrels are not usually in this area. That's why I'm not certain that it was a squirrel. I thought it was a groundhog, and they're coming out because they were in hibernation. But again, be careful here if you do come. And you see, you got these roots. They look a lot, these roots, like stairs, right? Stairs. I don't mean to stay on the stairs for the butchers and the bakers. Here I can roll 24/7. So yours truly, I'm gonna say again that my DRT theory. But before I digress, because I do digress sometimes, is I want to say that sexuality is important, sexual education, and to channel and sublimate sexual energies. Not repress. Repression will make a sickle and disease if I repress. Aggression. My brothers, I have aggression, but I channel it, I sublimate it. I work out, I train, I exercise, so I don't harm anybody else. I work out, I train, I exercise. And again, if you come here, just be careful because it's slippery, so you gotta be careful when you go there. You can come down and it's slippery. Faites attention, ça glisse. Faites attention en haut, ça glisse beaucoup. Gotta say it for my fellow citizen, because if they're not familiar, you're gonna go jog and gotta watch out. Like some of my cousins when I just said in French that be careful because it's slippery, and it is. We're gonna switch to that French. On va commencer par une chanson. Et l'île de Montréal, ici sur la montagne. On va faire une chanson, puis comme j'ai dit tantôt, il faut faire attention parce que si vous allez par là, ça fait bien ça glisse. Quand vous allez par là, si vous allez par là, comme c'est un vent ici, ça va pour le faire du jogging. C'est glissant, il y a de la glace noire, fait qu'il faut juste faire attention, pas que ça glisse trop, tu sais, pas que ça glisse trop, fait qu'il faut faire attention. C'est ça. Bon, en tout cas, je suis sur la montagne, une chanson rock&roll, je salue les efforts de ceux qui sont venus faire du jogging, puis c'est bon de faire l'entraînement physique, puis c'est super important que je vienne ici, puis que ça soit une affaire d'amour, parce que c'est ma deuxième maison ici, fait que c'est toujours comme, hey, regardez, ça a fait déjà la neige, parce qu'il y a eu de la neige lundi, puis il y a déjà encore de la neige, ce 20 mars spécial, gratitude 24/24 à notre arc-en-ciel pour les fermiers de la belle province, les pompiers, les agriculteurs, les infirmières dans les boulangers, les charpentiers, les électriciens, avec ça, ben oui, les travailleurs et les camionneurs, les charcutiers, Et aujourd'hui, pour mes frères et sœurs, Télémite de la Thelema, on célèbre, on commence 22 jours parce que j'ai nettoyé, puis j'ai fini mon 40 jours hier. Il faut pas que j'oublie de ramasser parce que j'ai amené de quoi pour faire du recyclage ici. Donc, vu qu'il a commencé à neiger, on commence à neiger encore, un petit peu de grêle. On va aller faire l'entraînement un peu là-bas. Puis après ça, on s'en va chez nous parce que d'ici jusqu'à chez nous, c'est encore 1h30. Peut-être 2 heures de temps. Fait que, il faut que je fasse attention parce que c'est quand même un effort qu'il faut que je fasse. C'est bien sûr un compromis. Quand on fait le grand compromis de l'Amérique du Nord, pour le français, bien, on envoie l'amour. Puis je dis toujours que mon commencement de l'entraînement physique, ça commence aujourd'hui. Puis j'aimerais bien sûr faire une danse d'entraînement physique là-bas que je veux que vous construisez, m'aider à construire, ou soit en arrière, le temple de la déesse. Et du dragon, votre dragon arc-en-ciel vous encourage, puis vous aime, vous encourage, puis vous aime, vous encourage, puis vous aime. Et je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique 24 sur 24, 24 sur 24 dans ma grotte. C'est de l'entraînement physique que je veux faire, puis je fais aujourd'hui. Et c'est l'entraînement physique. Et on est sur la montagne. Donc, si vous voyez comme ça, c'est des poèmes. Il y a de la poésie ici sur la montagne, comme votre poète, artiste, athlète indépendant qui fait de l'entraînement physique 24 sur 24, 24 sur 24. Sur la belle montagne, on va aller faire l'entraînement physique, puis avec votre soutien fort, on est ici sur la montagne et je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique, puis on est rendu où je veux construire la maison du dragon ici. Et pour la maison du dragon, pour la bâtir, la construire avec de l'entraînement physique. Et c'est 24 sur 24. Le dragon en arc-en-ciel. Ici, on va pouvoir construire, puis on va faire l'entraînement ici. Et on va avoir de la gratitude pour le soleil. Vous chantez aussi? Oui, j'ai chanté du Rock&Roll. Vous voulez entendre la chanson? Vous voulez l'entendre? Un autre jour. Hein? Bye bye. Anyways, du Rock&Roll, ça fait 24 sur 24 du Rock&Roll, puis on est sur la montagne, puis la citoyenne qui me dit bonjour. Vous me parlez pas d'amour, je vous entends pas, j'entends rien. Vous me parlez pas de l'entraînement physique, de l'Hydro-Québec, des fermiers, des pompes, des montagnes, de la comédie, l'arc-en-ciel. Je vous entends rien, j'entends pas. Je commence à perdre. J'entends rien, je commence à vous entendre mal. Donc, si vous me parlez pas d'amour, je veux rien savoir, merci, bonjour. C'est quand même la chanson Rock&Roll, mais en fait un beau sourire, j'ai fait un beau sourire, puis salut, parce que passé, puis je suis en train de chanter, fait qu'elle s'est arrêtée là-bas, fait que je dis, qu'est-ce qu'il fait? Mais il dit, il est pas fou, il a l'Asperger's, il chante quand il veut, sur la montagne. Faut l'entendre, pour se croire, pour le voir, on va faire l'entraînement physique. Drette ici, sur la montagne, il a commencé à avoir de la neige. Et votre dragon en arc-en-ciel vous chante, puis on va faire de la danse, entraînement physique. Encore une fois, je dois dire, ma gratitude. J'ai payé mon loyer pour le mois de mars. Mon loyer, payé ma facture d'électricité, puis j'ai du café puis du thé. J'ai du café chez nous, puis du thé. J'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, puis l'entraînement physique, ça a été ma médecine et thérapie de choix. Donc je vous encourage, Québécois et Québécoises, ma famille, des fois, on est dysfonctionnels. Mais C'est important de sublimer, puis moi-même, j'en ai moi aussi l'agression, mais mes chers, je m'entraîne, je fais des exercices physiques, je fais des pompes, je fais de l'entraînement physique, je m'entraîne, je fais de l'exercice physique pour sublimer la sublimation de l'agression, puis bien sûr, les autres énergies, que ce soit de la sexualité, j'en parle ouvert, moi-même, votre dragon arc-en-ciel, je parle ouvert de tous les aspects de la civilisation. Il y a des choses que je sais pas, je suis un aspi, j'ai souffert beaucoup, j'étais en dépression. Et voilà 6 ans et 6 mois, en 2017, en août, le mois d'août, puis le mois de septembre, dans l'été de 2017, j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte. Puis cet événement, avec ma soeur anonyme, la meilleure femme que je connais, si je fais 1 million, je donne la moitié, 50-50, sans gêne, sans regret, puis sans demande de chaque dollar, mais c'est quoi l'agence pour l'acheter et vendre? Mais anyways, j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte, puis j'ai sorti de la dépression. J'ai dit tellement de choses pour voir, pour faire ici, ou à belle province, mon pays, ma province, mon pays, l'Amérique du Nord, le continent. Tellement de choses que je dois faire, puis voir, d'écrire des chansons de rock-and-roll, d'écrire des poèmes, des idées de cinéma, puis j'ai commencé à m'entraîner. J'ai sorti de cet événement, ça m'a propulsé, j'ai arrêté d'être en dépression, puis être suicidaire. Je l'ai été suicidaire en dépression. Cet événement, ça m'a fait sortir de la dépression, puis être suicidaire. Puis j'ai dit tellement de choses pour voir, pour faire, que je dois faire, là. Ben là, puis je vais commencer à m'entraîner. J'ai créé un système d'entraînement physique. J'ai eu des emplois, de l'emploi par-ci par-là, mais bon, chez Asperger, c'est que le contrat n'a pas été renouvelé, l'emploi précaire, puis bien sûr, moi, mes forces, c'est la géopolitique, hein. La géopolitique, l'analyse, la théorie en géopolitique, il y en a 24 sur 24. L'événement majeur de cette semaine, c'est l'élection de Poutine, Vladimir Poutine, le président de la Russie, de la Fédération russe. C'est le président qui a été réélu. Une réélection. Il va être pour 30 ans, là. 6 ans, 6. Le chiffre avant 7, c'est 6. Après 5, c'est 6. 6 ans, c'est pas 4 ans, eux autres. C'est 6. Hey, il va être 30 ans, là, il est rendu à 24. C'est la 25e année de son règne sur la Russie. Il a commencé en 99, quand il y avait à peu près, il y avait-tu 44, je sais pas quel âge qu'il avait. 44 ou 45 ou 46 ou peut-être plus. Ben, je sais pas exactement. Je pense qu'il y avait plus que 44. On va dire plus que 44. Quand il a commencé en 99. Parce que je sais que quand il avait déjà 40 ans, quand la Union socialiste soviétique, le USSR, la dissolution de l'Union soviétique, là, l'Empire soviétique, comme on veut l'appeler, mais moi je suis millionnaire en bisous seulement, puis en câlin et en chatouille, mais je suis millénaire de la génération millénaire, donc je sais pas exactement c'est quoi exactement ces enjeux juste par les livres. J'ai pas vécu comme d'autres générations qui sont nées des années 40, 50, 60, qui ont vécu leur jeunesse puis leur âge adulte durant la guerre froide, qui a duré 44 ans, hein, entre 1947 et 1991. Plus que 44 ans, là. 44, là. Plus que 44 ans, là. Ça a duré, là, la guerre froide, tu sais, c'était long, ça. C'était long. Ben, anyway, c'est l'événement majeur. Fait que j'ai fait une analyse, ben, j'ai dit la question principale, parce qu'ils disent qu'ils ont voté par 88. N'importe qu'est-ce que je dis, hein, qu'est-ce que je fais, ben, fondamentalement, puis mon expérience de Montréal, puis bien sûr, avoir l'amnésie rétrograde, amnésie rétrograde, je m'en souviens avoir déménagé d'une place où il y avait beaucoup de moisissures, puis à commencer à m'entraîner, puis j'ai commencé à lire, lecture, des livres, des films, j'ai lu, je me suis éduqué, beaucoup d'éducation moi-même, puis l'entraînement physique, ça fait du bien. Fait que je connais l'île de Montréal, le Québec, la Belgique, le Canada, l'Amérique du Nord. Ben, je suis un mystique, un guide spirituel universel qui a bien des questions, bien des choses que je sais pas. La déesse, Dieu, déesse, la déesse, puis le Dieu, je sais pas tellement de choses. Je sais que l'entraînement physique, c'est ma médecine et thérapie de choix, puis la gratitude, puis je suis ouvert pour les affaires. J'en fais un peu de comédie. Puis, je connais la géopolitique, l'entraînement militaire un peu, la défense. Ça, je connais. Je connais l'île de Montréal, 2,5 millions, c'est comme un petit pays ici, hein, la métropole, là, Québec. C'est ça que je connais fondamentalement. Fait que je sais pas, il y a une question. Parce que mon analyse, je la fais en politique, faut tenir compte que je la fais en tant qu'indépendant, puis neutre aussi. Du point de vue un peu neutre, en conséquence, en tant que Nord-Américain, Canadien, Québécois. Oui, je peux être citoyen du monde, puis je suis universel, je suis de la paix dans le monde. Je suis universel de cœur, je suis universel, mais fondamentalement, qu'est-ce que je connais? C'est l'île de Montréal. 2,5 millions de personnes, ma famille, Québécois, Québécoises, Canadiens, puis tous ceux qui viennent nous rejoindre pour être en harmonie, en équilibre. En équilibre, en harmonie, en équilibre, puis en harmonie, puis en équilibre, puis en harmonie, puis en équilibre, en harmonie. Tu sais, en harmonie, en équilibre, tu sais, en équilibre, puis en harmonie, puis en balance. Le public et le privé ensemble. Mon rêve, la danse de la déesse qui danse et du dragon, vice-versa, le royaume du dragon et la déesse qui danse, c'est fondamentalement un appel à un partenariat public-privé. Quand je parle de mon rêve, c'est fondamentalement un appel à un partenariat public-privé pour le collectif de Civilisation nord-américain. Il y a tellement de choses que je ne sais pas. Maintenant, je suis à la marche, je prends des pas de marche, je prends de l'exercice physique, je fais de la méditation. Vis-à-vis de l'événement géopolitique majeur, c'est la réélection de Vladimir Poutine, parce qu'il a commencé une guerre, veut pas. Il a commencé une guerre, il n'y a pas eu de guerre comme ça depuis 70 ans, là, c'est 3 générations. Depuis la Deuxième Guerre mondiale, il y a une guerre maintenant, une crise géopolitique avec l'Ukraine. Il n'a pas eu de situation comme ça. Ça a fait les prix, le prix de ça, puis les marchés boursiers, ça a fait. Ça a mis fin à un ordre mondial qu'on a connu. La géopolitique. Puis bon, je peux en faire des analyses, mais la question est, si le vote il aurait été sans fraude, un vote, disons, populaire, vraiment comme faut, là, compter sans mentir, sans faire ça, combien y aurait-tu quand même été réélu, puis y aurait-tu eu plus que, ça en prend 51% pour avoir la majorité. Y aurait-tu eu 77 à place d'avoir proche de 88? 88, c'est quand même une blague, je trouve, là, mais, tu sais, 88, c'est possible? C'est possible que, même s'il n'y aurait pas eu de fraude puis d'intimidation, c'est possible que Poutine y aurait été réélu. C'est possible, écoutez, je sais pas. J'imagine que, peut-être, les générations qui qui sont mélancoliques à point de vue du passé de l'Union soviétique, moi, il n'y a rien que je veux retourner en arrière. Je veux la renaissance de la belle province, qu'on continue avec le compromis du français. Puis, en tant que collectif d'Amérique du Nord, je veux qu'on fasse comme qu'on fait en Europe. Une monnaie intégrée, hein, puis une intégration comme qu'on fait en Europe. On continue à bâtir d'autres centrales. Puis, la théorie de la réfusion de la dette, ma théorie, Trinité théorie, qu'on soit implémentée. Mais de côte à côte, d'océan à océan. Atlantique, c'est par là, les maritimes. Puis, le Pacifique, c'est par l'autre bord. Je souhaite la paix mondiale, mais je sais pas. Je sais pas, il va-t-il avoir une guerre nucléaire? C'est possible. Moi aussi, j'ai l'agression, mais je m'entraîne, mes chers, je fais l'exercice physique. C'est important de faire la sublimation de l'agression. Je vois du monde, des citoyens qui sont en train de marcher, qui sont en train du jogging. Faites bien. Moi aussi, j'ai besoin des câlins, massage. En place de financer moi un massage thérapeutique, financer les pompiers, les infirmières, les bouchers dans les boulangeries. Je pense toujours à l'immersion, puis méchant, mais quand si vous mettez un uniforme des forces des armées canadiennes, tu sais, je les salue, je les aime, mais ça commence la défense avec les 40 millions ici de côte à côte. Là. Côte à côte, puis ça commence dans les garderies, hein. J'en ai un couple de livres d'écrits, j'avais pas d'argent pour avoir la publication, mais bon, je continue. Je continue. Puis je fais ce que j'aime faire, puis la méditation, puis je suis juste pour la défense, la sécurité plus service. Même si j'en dis bien des choses, je peux prononcer bien des choses sur la Russie, puis tout ça, mais fondamentalement, je suis un Nord-Américain. Je me considère pas un membre d'une diaspora. Personnellement, je ne me considère pas en étant un membre d'une diaspora. Personnellement, je ne me considère pas en étant un membre d'une diaspora. Je suis ici, puis on avance, on progresse. Moi aussi, j'ai souffert, puis avec mes propres souffrances, mes propres luttes d'Asperger's, mais il n'y a pas de médicament pour l'Asperger's. Je suis aspi, that's all rock&roll. J'ai mes propres forces, j'ai mes propres défauts. Je dois ne pas regarder trop les gens, ne pas répéter 2-3 fois la même chose, les mêmes syllabes et les mêmes phrases, parce que c'est un symptôme. Puis il n'y a pas de médicament pour ma condition, c'est une condition neurologique. J'ai des obsessions. Les Asperger's, les Aspi, nous, on a des obsessions, mais ces obsessions, ça a fait que ça a donné comme une bénédiction, parce que je suis capable de dire que la seule théorie en ce moment fonctionnelle pour les finances publiques, c'est la théorie de la réfusion de la dette pour la création de l'unité d'échange universel. C'est la TRD qui inclut la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Il faut juste faire l'application par un partenariat public-privé, puis je fais appel à tous et toutes. Peu du centre, de la gauche, de la droite, du centre de la gauche, de la droite, du centre. J'étais un référendum universel centriste. Je peux faire une analyse indépendante, quand même neutre, du point de vue neutre en tant que Nord-Américain qui forme le collectif. Puis, en tant que nos alliés de l'OTAN, bien sûr, on fait partie de l'OTAN. Il y a la Suède, c'est la 32e maintenant. La Suède, elle vient de se rejoindre à l'OTAN, on en fait partie. L'alliance militaire de l'OTAN, c'est transatlantique. Mais je me demande, Vladimir Poutine, as-tu gagné quand même? C'est possible, hein? C'est oui, peut-être non. C'est oui, peut-être non. Les réponses, c'est oui, peut-être ou non. Mais c'est possible qu'il ait été voté par 51%, un vote sans fraude. S'il y aurait eu un vote sans fraude en Russie, est-ce que Vladimir Poutine a été réélu? Pour 51, ça en prend pour 100. Ça prend plus que 50%. Là. Mais s'il y en a 3 ou 4, ça peut être 38%, 20%, puis le plus qu'il y en a le plus, si comme un système comme au Canada. Mais c'est possible là, que Vladimir Poutine ait été en réélu. C'est possible, je sais pas. 88, c'est quand même une blague, là, de la comédie quand même. Là. Une fraude comique. Là. Ça aurait pu se donner 70 à la place, mais bon, je sais pas. Écoutez, je connais ici. Puis notre système aussi n'est pas parfait. Je suis pas parfait moi non plus, j'ai des fautes. Asperger, des fois, tu sais, je suis intense, j'ai l'agression, je m'entraîne pour ne pas faire mal à aucun citoyen. C'est mieux de l'admettre puis d'y travailler. C'est un travail en progrès, c'est une autre chose que je sais pas. Québécois agricole, vous êtes ma famille, puis l'individu puis le collectif. Ma nature individuelle avec mes forces, mes énergies, l'agressivité que je sublime toujours, je fais de l'exercice physique, je m'entraîne pour ne pas faire mal à aucun autre citoyen, puis je suis juste pour la défense. La sexualité, j'en ai moi aussi. Oui. Puis j'admets bien les choses. Moi, j'aime ça le sadomasochisme. Je suis arc-en-ciel. Je suis gay androgène pansexuel. Je suis gay androgène pansexuel. Un gay androgène pansexuel, c'est juste une partie de qui je suis. Puis maintenant, on va faire l'entraînement physique. Un petit peu de danse ici. Mais encore une fois, je vous dois dire ma gratitude. Gratitude, mon loyer pour le mois de mars. On est le 20 mars. On célèbre la Thelema, 20 mars. Mon loyer est payé. Ma facture d'électricité est payée. J'ai du café puis du thé. Fait que je fais de l'entraînement physique. Puis c'est super important de faire l'entraînement physique. C'est super important de saluer les gens qui ont fait un effort de venir chez nous, à deuxième maison. C'est pas juste chez nous, c'est ouvert pour tous. Et bien sûr, c'est c'est ouvert pour tous. Puis, bien sûr, il y a de la neige. Puis, fait de l'entraînement physique, c'est bon. Puis, j'aime savoir les gens, les gens qui s'entraînent, qui se tiennent par la main, ça m'amène de la joie. Puis, je viens de voir les citoyens qui sont en train de faire une boule de neige, puis ils jouent avec la neige, jouer librement, puis en sécurité. Puis, la liberté, ça doit aller avec la sécurité ensemble. C'est une danse, hein, c'est une danse. Ça prend un effort constamment, là, la liberté puis la sécurité, puis que mes enfants, les enfants de l'Amérique du Nord, puis du pays mondial, que soient libres puis joyeux d'être en sécurité puis libre, puis le consentement puis l'hygiène, l'hygiène, sans gêne. Puis ça, c'est une de mes autres obsessions avec la géopolitique, puis les études en civilisation, puis la danse, le sport. La danse est mon préféré, puis l'entraînement physique que j'en fais moi-même. Puis ici, on va commencer un petit peu l'entraînement physique. Mais encore une fois, je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. Québécois et Québécoises, ma famille, mais on s'adopte, vous avez jusque moi-même, puis je suis ici, puis ça fait une bonne affaire ici, puis j'aime toujours l'entraînement physique, puis ça fait toujours un bon entraînement physique que je suis en train de faire, puis ça fait toujours de l'entraînement physique que je suis en train de faire, puis c'est toujours bon avoir une idée, puis une pensée de comment on peut améliorer les choses pour moi-même et pour les autres. Parce que, tu sais, si je réprime la sexualité et d'autres choses, je vais être malade, tu sais, je vais être malade, je vais penser bien. C'est mieux la sublimation. Tu sais, il y en a beaucoup qui sont bisexuels, homosexuels, comme moi-même. Tu sais, il y en a beaucoup dans la Ligue du sport, tout ça. Il y en a bien du monde hein, qui sont. Mais pour XY, mais ils ne sont pas d'un. Puis, c'est la liberté et la sécurité. L'individu puis le collectif, c'est toujours une danse. Hein. Ça prend ma nature, qui est des fois intense, puis ci, puis ça, à être libre avec la nature de l'autre. L'individu puis le collectif, c'est toujours être en harmonie, en balance puis en équilibre. Sans faire mal, puis sans avoir la correction, puis c'est mieux avoir l'amour, puis j'aime mieux voir les gens qui s'aiment, puis la santé, puis la renaissance pour moi-même, puis pour les autres aussi. Tellement de choses que je sais pas. Il y a du monde qui souffre, oui, absolument. Et moi-même, j'ai souffert beaucoup, puis je suis ici avec la gratitude aujourd'hui, puis j'aime m'entraîner. Si je peux offrir à quelqu'un, prêtez allégeance, les gens, vous êtes famille. Prêtez allégeance, les gens, vous êtes famille. Prêtez allégeance, les gens, vous êtes famille. Puis pour le partenariat public-privé, l'ADS qui danse et du dragon, on va faire une danse pour la Thelema. Commencer la danse de mon HH dancing, get ready to get that rock and roll. We're gonna drill it as we can. And we're gonna put this laptop, we're gonna put it right here. And we're gonna take that hydrate and work out a bit. And then we're gonna head back to the HQ. You know how we do. Get ready. What time is it? Gonna advance it a little bit more. Time for that hydration. Right here. Let's go. Now we got a little bit on the drill. Right here. Get ready. We're gonna put the backpack down. Gonna get that bottle to hydrate, and then we're gonna do that workout dance. Gonna get that workout dance. We already warmed up. Warmed up we are. Fait déjà a warm up. So we're already on the warm up. We don't need to warm up more, but we need to get that bottle to get that hydrate. Super important to stay hydrated. This is 710 milliliters. As I go, of course, once this workout is over, I should already get that 710 milliliters clean water. Thank you for the filters. My anonymous sister friend, if I make a million, I'm gonna give her a half. Remerciement à ma soeur anonyme pour le filtre. Si je fais un mélange dans la moitié pour avoir de l'eau filtrée comme ça. Fait que c'est toujours important. It's always important to get that filtered and to get the filter in and to get that water. So it's always super important to get for that filtration and get for that filtration as we go. Get ready, hydrate. Super important to stay hydrated, on s'hydrate. And get ready. We're gonna work out a little bit of workout dance. Hydrate. On boit de l'eau, on s'hydrate. Yeah, let's go. We're ready to do some squats, hawks. H-A-W-K on the hawk. F-L-Y, we fly high all the way to the satellites, turn your hawk heads. East, west, north, south, up and down, we go around the ball, on y va, on lance. La fusée dans les airs, comme un rapace, comme un aigle, l'autre la tête de la gauche à droite. And we keep it in movement, keep it in motion, work out, try to work out over time, every time. L'entraînement physique, supplémentaire, tous les fois, tous les jours, on fait l'entraînement physique. Let's go! Give me some of that workout. We work out, train and exercise, we work out, train and exercise. Non? Et l'entraînement physique, super important. Faire de l'entraînement physique de la gauche puis de la droite, on avance puis on recule, oui. Go left or right. Twist those hips, rock and roll style for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses. Hey, today for that H, Thelemites, let's go, that 93, 93 la Thelema, mes frères et sœurs d'intelligence. Hey, we twist those hips, on tourne les hanches de la gauche puis de la droite, oui. Twist those hips left and right. On tourne les hanches de la gauche puis de la droite. And we rock and roll, give me some of those squats. Squats, S-Q-A-T-S. Squats, bring it down low. Squats as I go. On y va, on tourne. On y va. Let's go, give me some squats. Des applaudissements, train that booty and that peach. We get it out over time, every time. Earning that dinner. On va voir pour le dîner à soir. I got soup, I got some bread left, maybe not, maybe it's gonna be donations, you know, so blah, 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 so food security starts with the farmers, gotta salute. We also go on the fish. Je dois saluer bien sûr ceux qui font bien sûr du poisson, and it's always now, and get ready for some push-ups. We worship with push-ups and hugs. Channel the aggression with push-ups and hugs, l'armée du dragon. Sublime l'agression part. Les pompes, des câlins puis des pompes. Let's go, give me some of those push-ups. Farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, let's go, that Thelemites. Alistair Crowley. Alistair Crowley, la Thelema pour les infirmières. Les boulangers, les travailleurs publics, on y va. Des pompes, on y va. Des pompes pour les infirmières. Les caméras, hey. Ah, that feels good. Super good. The push-ups work out that whole body. Les pompes, bien sûr, ça fait l'entraînement physique. You see, I'm an aspie, so I repeat. When I work out, train, exercise, I am super focused and obsessed quand je fais l'entraînement physique, mais bien sûr que je suis super dedans, parce que c'est une de mes obsessions en tant qu'Asperger, l'entraînement physique. As an aspie, I got obsessions with geopolitics and fitness, and it's fitness 24/7, so gotta get it on the go. And see, we do a little bit of that helicopter. Chop, 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 helicopter. On y va. Something trying to get my left eye. A little piece of black dust, something in my left eye, or white. I think it was white and black, and a little bit of gray. Whatever color it is, rainbow, but it was, I think, a little bit of speck of dust. My left eye, gotta push it away. Dans mon œil gauche, j'ai donné un coup, mais ça a été de faire bien sûr dans mon œil gauche, comme de la poussière, ou c'était quelque chose comme de par terre, comme la masse. You gotta work out. Super important. The body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. Le corps est un temple pour le plaisir. Comment qu'on investit? Par des accomplissements des pompes, puis des éperviers, des faucons dans les airs. Let's go. Give me those squats, SQATS, overtime every time. Charging Tyson Fury, Donald Trump, blah blah. Ah oui, en temps supplémentaire, c'est la devise, téléphone 3, 6h33, 6:33. Then we got 7:07 is sunset, so we got a half an hour until sunset to work out. From here to my place is another hour and a half. D'ici jusqu'à chez nous, c'est encore 1h30, so t'as quand même de la marche à faire, so it's gonna go that workout, man. Gotta get it. Overtime, every time, you know the drill. Temps supplémentaire, toutes les fois, à chaque fois. Toutes les fois, bien chaque fois. En temps supplémentaire. Overtime, every time, you know the drill. Overtime, every time. Let's go, twist those hips as we march, keep it in motion. On tourne les hanches. Comme ça, quand on marche. Twist those hips, rock and roll it with a twisty. Twist like those hips, just like this. Oh yeah, that's that feel good, rock and roll. Let's go, twist on those hips. Super important. Twist it up, oh yeah. That's that twist. Oh yeah, feels good. Now we drop down for more squats. On descend pour plus d'accroupissement, right? On descend pour plus d'accroupissement. We go down for more squats. Squats, squats, squats. Oh yeah, that's feel good. Les accroupissements. Booty on that beach. Rock and roll it. Keep it in motion. On garde en mouvement. See where it's best. Oh yeah, I gotta move because it's a snowstorm now. Let's get it. Don't want to ruin my only work tool. Maybe here best. Let's see if I put it there. Is it protected? I put this there. It's gonna be protected maybe. I don't want to ruin my laptop. Je vais pas faire mal à mon ordinateur portable parce que C'est mon outil de travail, man. Oh no, you gotta get that spread, man. See, spreading on it, so. Yeah, la tempête. See, you got to get that snowstorm, man. Start it. Snowstorm March 20th. I think here is best now. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put it here, but that's okay, whatever's. Here's good, but here's protected. But wow, just started a snowstorm out of nowhere. Hey, winter's back. Quick winter, it came back. Still gonna work out until 7 or so. On va faire l'entraînement physique jusqu'à peu près 7 heures, on lâche pas, mais it's overtime every time, man. We don't play. The people's athlete. L'athlète du peuple. Just gotta move it out, so I have to move it a little bit. We'll get that rock and roll. Before I leave, I gotta put on some more because see now it's getting on that cooler side, so temperature's gonna be dropping fast, so I gotta get that going in, so and when I get that going out, so I had of course some things, and this I gotta put in recycling, and I gotta put my wages on this, so we gotta put it on the recycling, you know, so gotta put it in here, and well, this is gonna go recycling, so see I got that recycling right here. Rock and roll, receive love, rock and roll, receive that LOVE, so it's always done, man. It's always done, blah 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 blah, nothing with it. And, it's overtime every time, blah blah blah. Auctioning this pen, my anonymous sister friend gave me auctioning for $1 million. I'm gonna give her half. Je vends ça sur ma soeur anonyme l'a donné, puis je le vends pour $1 million, puis comme ça je vais donner la moitié, you know. So this I gotta recycle. Recyclage. Don't leave stuff here, please. We got flora, we got fauna, we got birds. So I'm gonna put in this. I'm auctioning also this. This was given to me by my anonymous sister friend also. Auction, blah 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 blah. Auctioning it for $1 million. Gonna give her half. Je vais le vendre pour $1 million. Je vais donner la moitié. And you know, gotta get that drill as we go. So it's always now. It's always now. And I gotta put this on, you know. So gotta put it on. So je dois le mettre bien sûr sur moi-même. So I put it on and I put it on the drill and. Always put it on and now, so we gotta put it in, and there we go. So gotta get that rock and roll. We gotta put it on, and gotta be all red. Also auctioning this one. Also my anonymous sister friend, greatest woman I know, gave it. Auctioning for $1 million, so you got $3 million for each. $3 millions pour chaque. So it's always good. It's always now, and it's always on that go. So. Get ready for more workout training exercise. Workout training exercising, let's go. Overtime, every time. Oh yeah, put those gloves back on and tie that belt, on serre la ceinture. Serrer la ceinture. Economic tough times, des temps économiques durs, on doit serrer la ceinture. Gotta tighten that belt. Tough economic financial time. C'est des temps économiques financiers durs. Il faut serrer la ceinture. C'est des temps économiques financiers durs. Il faut serrer la ceinture. Il faut serrer la ceinture. C'est des temps économiques durs. We gotta tighten that belt. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be grateful, man. Multi-millionaire rappers rap for the farmers a little bit of some charity. Les rappeurs multimillionnaires, il faut donner la charité. And we gotta get it for the hawk. Get ready, left and right. And we go up, fly high, let's go. H-A-W-K, hawk. Let's go, H-A-W-K, fly, F-L-Y. On the hawk, all the way to the top, H-A-W-K, hawk. On lance l'aigle, l'épervier, puis on lance puis. On lance, let's go, get it that hawk. And tick-tock, launch. And we get it go up and down. Let's go for that up and for that down. And we're gonna go do those squats, les éperviers. Bring that booty in that beach. Feels good. Got a little bit of a snowstorm, yeah. Gonna gotta sing some of that rock and roll, you know. I gotta sing some of that rock. Snowstorm, literally. Not a joke, it's a little snowstorm. Let's get it. Rock and roll for that snowstorm. Yeah, you know we got that snowstorm on the mountain. Yeah, you know we got that snowstorm on the mountain. Gotta get it, gotta sing it with a dragon, cause rain, storm, sunshine, I do sing it rock and roll. For the butchers and the bakers and the nurses and the doctors on the mountain grocery store, cause yeah, gotta sing it, gotta love them, gotta sing it, gotta swing it for the rainbow dragon with it. On the mountain, gotta do some push-ups, gotta do some push-ups, gotta do some singing. And another snowstorm, that's the with it. With it, I'm saying that's a snowstorm on the mountain. Come and see it, come and get it, come and live it, come and feel this. That's we got it on the mountain, that's the snowstorm, that's about it. And another for the March 20th, that's a March 20th, that's another rock and roll song from the dragon. Yeah, I sing it rock and roll for this. For the disco, boogie boogie, with that snowflakes in the air, with that trees up in the air, with a dragon with the fair. Hey, I'm singing with some love and no despair, with a hugging and a kissing, with a snowflake with a bear. Stills and shit, gotta see it for that rapid switch. Et la tempête de neige, la même marche regarde. Mais la neige, l'hiver n'est pas fini. Ça s'en vient encore, mais aujourd'hui, le soleil qui brille devient non, maintenant c'est la neige, mais au moins bon. L'hiver chez nous, mais dans mon pays. Ah oui, la même manière, les corbeaux du cache, à cachette, mais ça joue, les flocons de neige, regarde. Mais mars, l'hiver n'est pas fini. On chante puis on danse, n'est-ce pas? Les rock les balles, même dans la neige, n'est-ce pas? Les rock les balles, on danse dans la neige. Québécois et québécoises, on danse même dans la neige. Ah ouais, là, tu sais, que ça soit ensemble, on va voir, bouger des montagnes, que ça aille des académies de Québec, que ça danse, les fermiers, les camionneurs, les infirmières. Pour que ça bouge, enseignant de Discretion, pas besoin de voir conjuguer l'amour. Les flocons de neige, pas besoin d'argent pour une guitare, pas d'argent pour le tambour. Ça fasse mon son. Du 21e siècle, un peu comme mes quatre tambours dans l'amour. Du jambon du divin, c'est tout ce que j'ai besoin, puis ça bouge des fesses, puis qui lise les comics, ça lise jusqu'en haut, les anges, les guirlandes, les corbeaux, non, les oreilles blanches, et les mouchards dans l'arc-en-ciel. Super chanson du 21e siècle, non, la casse-le-tour de la noce, la belle province, qu'est-ce que je dise? Hey, marche, ben marche, ça danse ensemble, regarde le fou sans montagne. Les plaines raconteurs, ça raconte dans le passé futur, que ça doit conduire comme ministère, la face, ça fait des pompes, par l'amour et les galets, les avoirs de l'enfin. Comment mais enfin, oui, les lutins, oui, la teint. Satin de rouge, satin, moi que le préféré de satin. Amour avant quand ciel sautait. Yeah, that's that rainbow rock and roll, man. Rainbow Dragon rock and roll 24 sur 24, you get that rock and roll once again. Snowstorm, let's see how much we got left. We got left. Maybe for another song. Rock and roll like Celine Dion. Bilingual. Let's go rock and roll. And you know we got another snowstorm on the 20th of March with a free, look at this. We got another snowstorm where the love is wood of thorns. Where the crows they say, hey, dragon rainbow rock and roll it. For the flakes up in the lakes, for the river up in the mountain, where's my Celine Dion gonna swing into that French? Gotta be patient with that belle province. Rock and roll 24/7 for the butchers and the bakers and the nurses and the doctors and the cooks. Sometimes public workers got a shook. Where are those at 20th March? It ain't over winter yet. In the Montreal, you know I said, nobody get upset. Gotta sing it for the storm. Gotta sing sunset and sunrise and that French and that English for the eyes. For the eyes and for the sky. For the lakes and for the face. And for the mountains on the block. For the skyscrapers on the dock. For the butchers and the bakers and the nurses and the doctors and the truck. swing of that rock and roll and dragon. Over time, you know that swing of rock and roll and dragon over time. You know that swinging, rock and roll with the dragon. And I'm ready for that French. Sitting on the mic, we sing it. Hey, lift le condamné, ça danse ensemble, sans haine. Bilingue, comme le premier ministre, retourne à mon arc-en-ciel. Arc-en-ciel, regarde le flocon blanc de la neige. Ça tombe et ça danse ensemble, les montagnes, ça bouge, ça s'arrête. Tu crois que vous parlez de Mick? Ah oui, on a la musique, des bisous. Bisous, flocon. Ah ouais, des bons, ah ouais, non. Et ça danse, puis ça danse, puis les arbres, les sapins nous tenter, les travailleurs de construction des satellites. Satellites jusqu'en paradis. Paradis, pas besoin de bénite, juste une bière à la place. S'il vous plaît, ça danse. Ah oui, le sirop d'érable, ça goûte. Car là, vous savez que votre dragon. Même le rouge, nous sommes dans le cancer, nous dans ces bonnes arrêtes. Wow. Yeah. Just wanted to get a little bit of that Rainbow Dragon rock and roll, you know, that's all it is. That's all it is with me, is rock and roll 24/7. C'est du rock and roll 24/24. And, you know, got a little bit of snowstorm, so some of that snow, and it's already getting a little bit of that snow, so yeah. Now we're gonna finish the workout, on va finir l'entraînement physique, mais je suis content, j'ai fait du bon rock and roll, I'm happy I did a little bit of good rock and roll. Ain't nobody heard it, maybe nobody gonna hear, but that's okay. I do what I love, je fais ce que j'aime. Pas l'amour sans gêne for that LOV, let's go. Ah. Oh, now the sun's gonna pierce. Now let's go for those push-ups. Push-ups for the farmers, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the construction workers, public workers. Des pompes pour les travailleurs en construction, les pompiers, les bétons, le ciment en arc-en-ciel. Let's go! Les pompes, push-ups, pompe. Let me go for that push-ups. Ah, fill it up. Ah, yeah. Oh, fill it up. Oh, yeah. Fill it up. Oh, yeah. Feels good. Yeah. Hey, fill it up, fill it up. That's good. Oh, we got that sun now piercing. Let's check out the sun. Looks like the sun's about to pierce. We're gonna get a piercing from the sun, my king the Pope. I watched it, I hope everybody was safe. On the roads, j'espère que tout le monde a été en sécurité sur la route. Gotta double check as it came out of nowhere, the storm, Mother Nature. La mère nature, Mother Nature sometimes our friend. Sometimes we gotta cooperate avec la mère nature, you know, get that in 20th of March, beginning 22-day journey, le jour de 22, until of course the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th April. Le jour de 22, jour de la Thelema, Thelema! 22-day journey, summer of the king, blah, blah, blah. Que that Mars and that Cette, with that moon and that spot. Avec la lune, ça prend du doux des bisous. Qu'avec la force, un mélange de soleil. Ah. Oh yeah, wow. Let's see. Oh yeah. She's about to get hit by a little bit of gold. We got that snowstorm coming out of nowhere. That's la belle province, Montreal. And now we're gonna get about a little bit of, on va peut-être avoir comme un beau coucher de soleil. So, grateful, thankful. And I head back to headquarters right after the snowstorm. Let's do some hawks. Hawks, you say H-A-W-K. On the toes we go. Like eagles, come des aigles like hawks. We gotta propel that body up, on doit. Faire l'entraînement physique, on s'élance. How many satellites in the sky? How many North American satellites? Blah blah, combien de satellites de l'Amérique du Nord? Et que ça fasse, let's go. See, we gotta go H-A-W-K, turn the hawk east, west, north, south. And we gotta keep hydrating, il faut qu'on s'hydrate. Super important, l'hydratation. Super important to hydrate. Let me see a little bit of that sun. See? A good sunset. Le coucher du soleil. Twist those hips up. On fait bien sûr le... On bouge. on tourne les anses. We gotta twist those ships, you know. So we gotta get that drill. We gotta get that X and Y and Z. Gotta keep with that drill, you know. So we gotta get sometimes. We gotta do that squats and we gotta do those squats. Faut qu'on va aller en bas, up and down. And, that's what it is. And, it's all it is, you know. It's workout, training, exercise, entraînement physique. It's all it is. LOV 24/7 de l'amour 24/24. So we gotta hydrate. Faut qu'on s'hydrate. Super important to hydrate. Super important. S'hydrater, faire l'hydratation, you know. We gotta hydrate, drink that water, sip, drink. We gotta slide left or right, right to left. Faut qu'on glisse de la gauche puis de la droite. We gotta slide left or right. And oh yeah, I see that piercing of the eye of the sun now piercing, looking right at me. Regarde, gotta bow, bow, bow. Let's sell my king the Pope when I rise now sets and watch it tomorrow morning. Watch it all 24/7. It's gonna come again, the sun, you know. Le soleil va encore venir. So just pierced a little bit, pursued a little bit, and go down to get that control of our own nature, you know. That's the sun now rising, now sets. Le soleil maintenant se lève puis se couche, you know. Did me a little wink, wink, wink. Ça a fait un petit clin d'œil, you know. I'm just a piece of dust. Je suis juste un de la poussière, you know. So I gotta twist my hips nonetheless. Sip, drink water. That's that good hydration. Gotta get more hawks, more squats. Let's bring it LOW. Train that booty and that peach. Wanna kiss it for world peace. On va faire l'entraînement physique. On y va, on bouge. On entraîne les fesses. On entraîne les fesses. Qui veut donner des bisous pour la paix mondiale? Oh, fesses de votre arc-en-ciel. Hey, let's go! Squats. Always salute firefighters. Big love to our firefighters. De l'amour pour nos pompiers. Love to our firefighters, love to our butchers, love to our bakers and the nurses and the doctors. On les aime, nos pompiers, les infirmières, les enseignants, amour. Et les docteurs, les travailleurs de service public. On les aime, ça prend du partenariat public-privé. Thanks, that PPP. Gotta give it sometimes that center. Ça prend bien sûr des fois. Au centre. Sometimes the center is best. 20th century, 21st century center best. Au 21e siècle, c'est le centre qui doit faire râler là. Un centre avec l'individu et le collectif. A center with the individual and the collective. Service and security. Yeah, well. Saluting the few. Few like that citizen who's on the jog now. Good for you, good for you, good for you. Drill, 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 drill. Drill that, good for you, go, go, go. Got encouraged by a citizen there, see I saw among the few. He's jogging in the snow. Salute, applaud, saluting those who made an effort today to work out. Je salue ceux qui ont fait un effort aujourd'hui pour faire un entraînement physique. We got a mass finance. By a public-private partnership, we got a mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise. On doit financer par le partenariat public-privé des citoyens pour faire de l'entraînement physique. C'est le temps. Let's go NFL, NHL, NBA, millionaires, billionaires, public-private partnership, North American, fitness, finance, wellness, citizens. De financer les citoyens pour le partenariat public-privé. Pour le public et les citoyens pour ce qui s'entraînent. Ah oui, Facebook et Instagram, les millionnaires, milliardaires. It's time. By public-private partnership. Time finance. Fitness. Via public-private partnership, c'est le temps de financer par le partenariat public-privé Partenariat public-privé. L'entraînement physique. The time is coming. Let's go. I have been advocating for years now for citizens to be match finance incentivized to for wellness, to work out, train, exercise pour les citoyens, faire l'entraînement physique. Et pour qu'ils s'entraînent, pour qu'ils font l'entraînement physique, et que ça soit l'entraînement physique. Et voilà. Let's go. Give me some more hawks. H-A-W-K. H-A-W-K. Let's go hawks. Turn your hawk head east, west, north, south. Tournez la tête de la gauche à la droite. Ah ouais, on y va. Eh ouais, on s'élance dans l'espace. Dans les airs, let's go. Channel that aggression. On sublime l'agression fait l'entraînement physique. About my left eye. Ah. Et voilà, let's go. Ah, feels good, always feels good. I gotta get it on the drill. Feels good. Keep it in motion. Gonna check that book of the law. In April 8, 9, 10. La loi le 8, 9. Ça sera marche. Let's see. You ready? We're gonna do some more. So another fellow citizen, salute, 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 making an effort to jog. Je vous salue, 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 faites un effort de faire du jogging, faites bien, let's go. On y va, on that helicopter, l'hélicoptère, 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 let's go. L'hélicoptère, 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 helicopter, l'hélicoptère. Helicopter, saluting those who made an effort to come jog. And I see the sun's about to shine again when we're gonna do some more hawks. On the toes we go, fly high all the way to the sky, all the way, on s'élance comme des rapaces dans les airs. On tourne la tête de la gauche à droite. Et je vois la lumière de mon pape, le soleil, qui maintenant se lève. Et je dois pouvoir prendre des belles photos. I'm gonna twist my hips a little bit and take a little bit of that pictures. Wow, what a beauty. The sun is really beautiful. I'm gonna actually take pictures and show you the camera. C'est vraiment beau. Après la tempête, c'est incroyable comment c'est après la tempête. Puis là, le soleil sort pour le coucher du soleil. What time is it now? 7:01, 7:01, 7:01. Il est 7h01. So I gotta get it for that. You see, as I do some squats and I can take some pictures. Bien sûr que prendre des photos. So what? Getting those pictures. Getting a little bit of those pictures are super important. Hydrate, stay hydrated, and of course get that rock and roll 24/7. Que je fasse du rock and roll 24/24. Wow. Wow, wow. See? As that sunset, my Pope the King, the sun now rises and now sets. Vancouver, Vancouver, what time it is? It's 4:02. Vancouver, il est 4 heures. Vancouver got to subtract 3 hours, 333. 3 hours in Vancouver. 12. Vancouver, British Columbia. It got time zone. San Francisco time, BC. Town of San Francisco, so you got to get that drill. Wow, what an eye. It looks like an eye, right? Yeah, man, that's the eye, man, you know? So you're going to take a little bit of that and wow, what a beauty. Gotta take some more pictures. Now it's really nice. I live an austere, simple, severe 21st century rainbow spotted, highly physically active lifestyle. I live an austere, simple, severe, highly physically active lifestyle. Love my wafers, not ascetic. Spartan 21st century rainbow dragon, super physically active lifestyle. Say I live a simple, austere, severe 21st century rainbow Spartan lifestyle, but I do love my wafers and cheese and some bacon. I do not live an ascetic lifestyle, but I do live an austere, simple, severe, highly physically active lifestyle. Not ascetic. I love a little bit of bacon. I love cheese. I love wine. Wow, the sun shines even more now. Wow, the sun shines right here now. Now we're gonna do some more squats facing the sun. Squats, SQATS. SQATS, pour les applaudissements. What a beauty, what a beauty, what a beauty. You gotta see this and gotta go march now towards the sun as we're gonna go get that hydrate, but just wanna finish wrapping up as we're gonna go marching towards the sun. First, wanna just light some incense. And some incense. Horus! Horus! Thelema, the ra, the nu, and the ha, the nu. Anyways. We're gonna go by that sunset. That's it, that's all. We're gonna go get that recycling. On va faire le recyclage. That's it, that's all, rock and roll. Super important to stay hydrated. Last squats. Les derniers accroupissements, on s'en va le coucher de soleil, on va s'hydrater. We're gonna go get that hydration. On va aller s'hydrater. On va le coucher de soleil. And that's it, that's all for the workout. You know, it's a workout. Fait l'entraînement physique. Puis l'entraînement physique en temps supplémentaire. We gotta go recycle these. On va faire l'entraînement physique. Et on va faire vers le coucher du soleil. On va voir. On y va. Ah, ça fait du bien ça. That feels good, man. That's balls. Look at that. Wow. Coucher de soleil rouge comme ça. That's a nice sunset. And anyways, that's House of the Dragon support soutenir la construction du temple de la déesse. Ouais, le beau coucher de soleil là. Wow. C'est nice. Faut regarder pour le voir ici. Comme une arche, like an arch. Vous avez vu le coucher du soleil?
Ouais, il est vraiment beau.
C'était incroyable, hein?
Il est vraiment très beau.
Ah ouais, ça a sorti après la tempête, c'était vraiment quelque chose de spécial, là. Je m'entraînais là-bas, puis il y avait de la neige qui a commencé, puis après ça, je vois le soleil, je dis, c'était wow! Toi aussi, amusez-vous, puis faites de l'amour à soir. Make love tonight. Yeah. Fais de l'amour, make that good loving. Ça va vers le coucher du soleil. Gotta with that good sunset and we get it for that good sunset. On y va, puis faire vers le coucher du soleil. And they laughed, they were smoking some of that legal. Ils fumaient un peu de légal. Vers le coucher du soleil, c'est mes cousines, my cousins there, you know. Sure. My cousins, they get it for that cuz, you know, so get it for those cousins, man. C'est mes cousines, you know, so mes cousines qui sont en train de fumer du pot légal, cannabis, c'est leur sécurité, puis tu sais, des fois je suis l'Asperger, je leur fais le mal, je dis je m'excuse, I'm sorry if I say something, that's it, that's all. Their safety, their security, their love, their health is also in balance, harmony with mine. Leur sécurité, leur liberté, en sens avec moi-même. And it's consent. I don't know what, so many things I don't know. I just said hello there, they smiled, they said hello, so I said hello, that's all rock and roll. Dis salut, bonjour, puis faites un beau sourire. avoir des bonnes relations avec des citoyens, puis avec du monde ici sur la montagne. Des fois, moi aussi, je vais dans ma bulle, puis rien savoir. Sometimes I just want to be also my own with the law, but he did a nice smile, so smiled back, said hello because it was really something we shared in common with my family, my cousin, mes cousines, ma famille. On avait quelque chose en commun. Et on a aimé ça, le coucher du soleil, puis comment qu'il y avait de la tempête de neige, puis après ça le soleil, c'était quelque chose d'exceptionnel, un événement rare quand même, météorologique. It was a rare meteorological event to have that storm, and we also enjoyed it. Or day afterwards, lighting up a little one, you know. And I don't smoke. I still have about 6 or 3.5 or 6, maybe even 7 joints. Moi aussi j'ai chez nous des joints, mais je suis comme 7 ou 3,5, entre 3,5 ou 7 même, peut-être 6 joints roulés, là, des pré-roulés. J'ai pas fumé, ça fait un bout. I didn't smoke in a while, but anyways, so they also enjoyed the view as I did of the sunset, and now we're gonna get more hydration and gonna head back to headquarters because it's 7:16. I thought it was 7:30. Je pensais que c'était comme 7h20, mais si. This is where I gotta do recycling. C'est ici que je dois faire du recyclage. Tu sais, c'est ici que je dois faire du recyclage. Here I gotta do a recycling. So we gotta get that open. Put it in. Je dois mettre dedans. Now recyclage, gotta put in recycling. I don't have to leave it here, you know. Don't have to leave it there and get it for there and this and whatever the case may be. So we gotta get that drill and we gotta get for the workout. So it's always a drill we gotta work on, or whatever case we gotta work. It's a work in progress, you know, 24/7, and it's always starts my fitness journey now. I always say that my fitness journey nurses starts today. Que mon conscience, ça commence aujourd'hui. Mon entraînement physique, ça commence aujourd'hui. Puis le vôtre aussi commence aujourd'hui. Puis, wow, look at that bed file. This needs a lot of fixing. That's huge. Un gros nid de poule, ça, wow. Ça a besoin d'être réglé, ce nid de poule. Il y a quand même des nids de poule ici dans le parking. So many potholes, but it's public works, you know. Gotta encourage our public workers, and this parking needs some work. You gotta get going. I'm doing some volunteering. I'm willing to do some volunteering. Je dois faire du bénévolat, mais ce parking-là, je viens de voir, j'ai remarqué, mais gotta do a lot of work. So we got a lot of potholes to do inside here and there, so I'm willing to do some volunteering. As we're gonna do it for the drill and dig in, get it for it to go, public works go, les travailleurs publics go, and gotta paint these benches also. Il faut qu'on peinture ces bancs aussi, fait que avec votre aide puis soutien, super important de faire pour les bancs, ici bien sûr pour faire l'arc-en-ciel, to do a little bit of that rainbow, and of course to get a little bit of that rainbow rock and roll, and you know. But yeah, I'm willing to do some volunteering, filling up the potholes, because this is my second home, my mountain, but I think it's time for the parking lot. Let's do it this spring, but it takes brain and muscle, because theory, you're not going to do it, it's going to need some sweat. Ça va prendre quand même de la transpiration puis un peu de muscle pour le faire, parce que, tu sais, la théorie, ça va pas le faire par elle-même, là, la théorie, là. Je peux en parler, mais je peux en dire qu'au travail public, je peux faire du bénévolat pour remplir les nids de poule, mais là, ça va prendre aussi des machines, des outils. Hein. C'est comme moi, avec cet outil de travail, c'est mon ordinateur portable. Me too, with my work tools. Sometimes we got to work with the tools we're given. We got certain tools, tools, and sometimes we just got to take a little bit of that old school, because it still needs some brains and muscles. Ça prend aussi de la vieille école. Ça en prend tellement de choses, hein. Ça en prend de la vieille école aussi, hein. It takes a little bit of that old school. Old school drill. Defense, offense. You know, we gotta get that practice, theory, and la pratique, la théorie, mais c'est bien sûr quelque chose qu'il faut qu'on fasse aujourd'hui, puis c'est super important, mais de faire le travail public. So that's why we gotta put that DRT, debt refusion theory to mass infrastructure public works, pour faire les infrastructures dans la masse de l'infrastructure, la masse de l'infrastructure pour la reconstruction de l'Amérique du Nord, l'infrastructure publique. That public place, public, that's public. Free parking, public. It goes so you can go to the mountain. You can people to enjoy to see, come see the beautiful Belvedere, pour voir la Belvedere, puis pour venir. We got a lot of work there. I just noticed it's a lot of work. So it's work, man. Got a lot of work. I'm all about work and pleasure and business and pleasure and some comedy, some humor with it. But I'm for that public-private partnership, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom today, 20th of March. At Thelema it begins, you know. Je venais de la Thelema 22 jours, ça commence jusqu'à 10 avril. You know, so we gotta celebrate every day, you know. So carpe diem it every day. Ben, je vis au quotidien carpe diem avec l'espoir pour demain. Y'all give me hope. I see you working out. See people training, see people exercising, it always gives me hope. Hope for that drill, hope for that pause, hope for that rock and roll 24/7. Moi pour le rock and roll, tu sais. C'est toujours constamment maintenant. It's always constantly now. It's a constant thing. I always gotta get drilled, always gotta get drilled, always gotta get now. So it's always something that we gotta work for. It's always something that I gotta work for. It's always something you gotta work for. It's some of that joy, you know. I've been depressed and suicidal. I conquered being depressed and suicidal when I crossed Canada coast to coast. J'ai conquis la dépression puis être suicidaire quand j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte. You know, it's not all about being tough. It takes humor, understanding, and love. C'est pas juste toujours d'être dur. Ça prend la bonté, la compassion, l'amour, puis la compréhension par l'action aussi. La compassion, puis l'amour aussi par l'action. Love and compassion by action, you know. And this is because maybe I'm an Aspie. Aspies, people sometimes think that we Aspies are kind of emotionally insensitive, but it's just that we express our love and our compassion by action. We're gonna offer things. Money I don't have to offer, but if you say you got a sore neck, I might say you want a massage, or sore feet, you want some washing of the feet. Whatever the case, making food, I got food I share, so stuff like that. Les aspis, nous, des fois, on dit qu'on n'a pas de compassion, mais c'est pas ça, on peut que nous n'a pas des émotions, parce que nous, les Aspergers, on offre des choses si on peut offrir, mais si on a de l'argent, on va offrir de l'argent à nos amis. Si on, il dit, ah, j'ai mal, je me suis fait entraîner, puis j'ai mal au cou, on va offrir, tu veux-tu un massage, ou tu veux-tu, comme lavage de pieds, des choses comme ça. On va offrir des choses pour montrer l'amour et la compassion. Car d'autres gens, ils vont juste, tu sais, qui sont pas aspis, qui n'ont pas l'aspect, ils vont juste dire, ah, ben, je suis désolé pour toi, ça. Mais nous, on offre des choses. Ça peut paraître bizarre à certains gens. So we offer things. It would be whatever the case. It could be a massage, washing of the feet, it could be cleaning, it could be XYZ, an action. Compassion by action and love by action. Then rather some people say, oh, or feel sorry. So we express it differently. Our compassion and our love, Asperger's, Aspies, we express it differently. On l'exprime d'une manière différente, les Aspies. Mais il y a des fois du monde qui pense qu'ils sont pas Aspies, parce qu'on est quand même une minorité, qu'on pense qu'on est comme cruel, on n'a pas de compassion, on n'a pas ces émotions. C'est pas ça, c'est qu'on l'exprime d'une manière plus pratique. We express it from more to do something for other, rather than just saying with words. We can more by action. We can say words, and we do. On dit quand même aussi des paroles des mots, mais on offre quand même. C'est plus les choses qu'on offre. It's more we offer things. So in that case, we're different. Aspies are different. So je suis différent. Mais c'est les Aspergers, but we gotta get it for that drill. And it's super important for me to come and get hydrated. And I would love to paint the benches that need to be painting. J'aimerais ça peinturer les bancs qui ont besoin d'avoir la peinture. Puis c'est toujours super intéressant. Puis avoir l'amour. Puis ici, tu sais, c'est travail public, public works, thank you. And I gotta get grateful for the water and hydration. Oh yeah. Feels good here when I come and gotta get myself somewhat hydrated. Il faut que je m'hydrate, bien sûr, moi-même, puis j'ai fait l'entraînement physique, puis bien sûr, quand je vois les gens s'entraîner ici, la patinoire, je pense qu'elle vient censée d'être fermée bientôt, mais je sais pas s'ils vont la fermer ou s'il est fermé, mais je pense que... Anyway, so we gotta get that compassion by action, yo. Il faut faire la compassion par l'action. C'est l'Asperger. L'Asperger. It's kind of hot, the water is hot. L'eau est chaude quand même. Just waiting a bit, but the water's hot. Oh, yeah. The water's hot. L'eau est chaude. Mes cousins, je blague, c'est bon. Faites ce que vous faites, continuez, lâchez pas. My cousins, continue, don't give up, keep working out. Oh, that's the moon, man. Et la lune, regardez. La lune, the moon is almost full. The moon is almost full. La lune. Oh. Puis là, le soleil est l'autre bord, exactement. On va aller chez nous, vers l'ouest, by the west. Exactly. To my right, the sunset. To my left, the moon. Sometimes it's the other way, but now this is how it is now. Put on those gloves because it's dropped. Temperature dropped by about 7 degrees since I left. La température a baissé d'à peu près 7 degrés depuis que je suis parti quand même. This has been it. We now depart from my second home, the mountain, going to my dragon's lair. Keep in mind that from here to my place is about another hour and a half to 2 hours. Tenez en compte que d'ici jusqu'à chez nous, c'est à peu près encore 1h30 à 2 heures, puis c'est en temps supplémentaire à tous les fois. Is that overtime? We rock and roll it on that overtime. And we rock and roll it for that overtime. And we always drill it. Always get that great attitude. Grateful, thankful, rent paid, a little bill paid. Got food and coffee. La gratitude, j'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité. Et la lune, et vous voyez, là-bas, le coucher du soleil. So you got that sunset, you got that moon. So we got on that both sides, you know. So this is how we go about it. Got that water, 710 milliliters for the road. On a les 710 millilitres pour la rue, pour la route, parce que d'ici jusqu'à chez nous, ben, c'est encore quand même la route que je vais prendre, c'est à peu près 13.3 km. The road that I'm going to take is going to be the longer one. It's going to be about 13.3 kilometers. The road that I'm going to take. La route que moi je vais prendre pour m'en aller chez nous d'ici, ça va être comme 13.4 km. It's going to be about 13.3 kilometers. Maybe 11, peut-être 11. Je vais prendre plus. 13.3. Ça dépend. C'est plus que d'habitude. It's going to be more than usual. What time it is? So 7:29. So I should be back home by 9:15ish. 9:30 max. 9h30 maximum. Mais je dois peut-être chez nous jusqu'à 9h15, peut-être même à 9h. Fait que peut-être 9h15, 1h30, 1h45, maximum 2h, maximum 2 hours. Look at that moon. That's the moon there, see? La lune. That's the moon. Goddess, goddess. That's the goddess. G-O-D-D-S-S. Goddess. I say goddess in my spiritual teaching. So many things I don't know. I'm a piece of dust. Look at these big trees. Je suis poussière. Regardez ces beaux arbres. Sont 7 fois ma grandeur. Et quand je parle avec la déesse, on dit, qu'est-ce que vous voulez? Dragon, vous êtes poussière. Parce que moi, je danse avec le soleil. My goddess tells me, dragon, 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 what do you want? You're a piece of dust. I dance with my brother the sun. So I bow to the sun. Say, hail. I bow to the goddess. Say, hail. Quand la déesse a dit que je suis poussière, puis le soleil, puis les étoiles là, que ça brille. La loi pour l'amour. Love that, love it. Anyways, encouraging you all to work out, train, exercise daily, regularly, as much as you can. Start your fitness journey. My fitness journey always say starts today. You start yours today. Je dis toujours que mon conditionnement physique, ça commence aujourd'hui. Et le vôtre, ça commence aujourd'hui. And so many things to explore just on the island of Montreal. Des choses à explorer juste sur l'île de Montréal. I got an internet connection. I paid my half. I paid my electricity bill. Paid my rent. Got food and coffee when I get back home. J'ai du café, puis du thé, puis j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, puis l'Internet. Je connecte avec les satellites. I'm connecting with that satellite supercomputers now. Seeing the truckers, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses all across. Je vois les camionneurs, les infirmières, les travailleurs de l'Amérique du Nord. D'une manière, bien sûr, de la créativité, puis avec de l'imagination, in an imaginary creative way, but hey, we gotta get that imagination, creativity, and I gotta get that drill, you know, and I gotta get going with the steps. Je dois y aller pour les pas, puis see my cousins on that jog. Gotta encourage my fellow cousins, they're jogging, see. Gotta support. On doit saluer. Qui font du jogging. And we gotta get it for that sunset. See, beautiful sunset. You gotta get it for that sunset. Ils font du jogging, font bien. Encourager, we gotta encourage. Get that drop. Get that exercise. We gotta get super fit. Gotta get that North Americans. Il faut connaître l'Amérique. Gotta get it for that Dragon Army. See, here's the barracks, Canadian Armed Forces. There's a regiment here. Gotta give it a little bit of paint. Needs some color. Ça a besoin de couleur. This is, of course, ça c'est bien sûr qu'il y a les forces armées canadiennes. I salute. Get that Dragon Army, public-private partnership pour l'armée du dragon de partenariat public-privé. Independent fitness captain de fitness indépendant. Look at that beautiful sunset. Gotta be grateful for that beautiful sunset. We gotta be grateful for that moon. See, that's that moon. C'est la lune. Il faut que j'aille la gratitude. Overtime, every time. Heading back to my headquarters. Always with meditations and rock and roll, but I only do one video. 3 hours is enough. 3 heures, c'est assez. Puis always meditating, even when I go back. Meditating, singing that rock and roll. En chantant le rock and roll, la méditation. And it's a lot to go here. It's a lot to go. I gotta earn my meal, earn my dinner. J'ai mon dîner, je dois la mettre moi-même. Got a beautiful sky, I'm gonna count the stars if I see some stars. It's got a beautiful sun, look at the heavens. You know, heaven starts with me here, and your fitness journey starts now. Votre conditionnement physique commence dès aujourd'hui. Gotta get that drill, say that trucks. The butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, 24/7 grocery store clerks. Those firefighters on the road, ambulance drivers, public security workers, public workers. Les travailleurs publics, les ambulanciers, les bouchers, les boucheries. Les caissiers dans les entrepôts, les camionneurs, les services publics, les autobus. Is that North Americans Unite the call? Public-private partnership des Nord-Américains qu'on s'unisse. Support the dream. The dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, soutenir le rêve. The dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, support the dream. The dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, soutenir le rêve de votre dragon arc-en-ciel. You gotta support that dream. You know? You gotta get it for that moon. Pour la lune, you see? That's that moon right there. Gotta get it for the moon. Moon goddess. Heading back to headquarters. One step at a time. Big steps, big marching steps. It's marching pace. Pas de marche. Saluting the bus drivers. Saluant les chauffeurs d'autobus. That goes to my old neighborhood. Nothing that I want to go back to because where I lived was where I live, where I currently where I live now is better. Je veux rien retourner en arrière parce que cet autobus s'en va dans mon ancien quartier, mais où je vis présentement maintenant, c'est mieux que j'habitais avant. Puis, coup de moisissure, puis c'est peut-être ça qui a causé l'amnésie. Maybe that caused amnesia or trauma or whatever the case may be. But all the work that I did the past years and already put in more marching steps than all the generals of the free world today combined. J'ai déjà mis plus de pas de marche que les généraux, les chefs des armées du monde libre. Déjà maintenant, il me reste 18 secondes. Got 18 seconds, plenty of time to cross the street. Wow, look at that beautiful sunset. Quel beau ciel du coucher du soleil. C'est vraiment éclairé passer la tempête de neige. It really hit a little bit of that snowstorm. And you know, sometimes you just gotta look at that heaven. And it's like carpe diem it. Survived COVID 4 years ago. J'ai survécu la COVID. And it always starts today, you know. My fitness journey. And I could always say, gotta salute. C'est une caserne. And it's Canadian Armed Forces right here. CAF, Canadian Armed Forces. I got love for y'all, but it starts with the 40 million here, and gotta go change some diapers in the daycare, reading one of my books, maybe. So where national defense starts. La défense nationale, ça commence dans les garderies, puis en lisant des livres, changer des couches dans les garderies. Force des armées, blah, 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 blah. Gotta get that Canada, you know, so we gotta get that NATO. Going biggest military drills. They're doing that, military drills in NATO. Ils font près de l'armée canadienne, puis l'OTAN, ben, on fait partie de l'Alliance. I got my ideas as a philosopher. They need some rock and roll, so I'm willing to go rock and roll dance for NATO. Bring NATO troops here, mais amener les troupes de l'OTAN ici pour faire un show, puis de danse, puis de rock and roll. Freestyle mode, wood workouts. Avec de l'entraînement physique, bien sûr, avec de l'entraînement physique. Which, of course, my fitness journey starts today and yours can. Puis bien sûr, je dis toujours, mais que mon entraînement physique, ça commence déjà aujourd'hui. Fait que c'est toujours quelque chose que j'aime faire. And I'm looking for support. I'm looking for love. For partnership business, I'm open for business. Je suis ouvert pour les affaires, 24/24. Puis ça commence toujours maintenant, l'entraînement physique. And it's always getting on that gratefulness. Gratitude 24/7, and super important to be grateful. To be grateful in our public works. And of course, to get that moon. Kisses I got, laying the foundations. First and foremost, kisses on the table, some rock and roll, marching steps with it, and bien sûr, premièrement, des bisous. J'en ai des milliards, ceux qui en veulent, prêter allégeance, les gens, blah, 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 blah. How about some sports, give some charity if you make $1 million. Donner à la charité, bien sûr. And I'm not totally selfless. I got some selfish. Je suis pas sans égo, je suis pas sans défaut, je suis pas totalement sans égo, je suis pas totalement pour moi-même, juste l'ego, puis je suis pas égoïste à 100%, mais je suis pas sans ego non plus. Je suis pour moi, puis pour l'autre aussi. I'm for myself and for others. If it'd be pretentious of me to be self-righteous, you know, I'm not self-righteous, and you know, I have lust, and I have these, and j'ai bien sûr les choses que j'ai dans moi, you know, I play that rainbow, and liberation. I get moody. You know, earlier before I left, I was moody. I said, social media, you know, I did an analysis, geopolitics, and ça, no business, emails. I was moody. Tantôt, avant que je commence à m'entraîner, j'étais quand même un peu comme ça, après les médias sociaux, puis blablabla, puis je vois qu'est-ce qui se passe en géopolitique, puis les nouvelles, pas des bonnes nouvelles, puis j'ai checké mes courriers, puis pas beaucoup d'affaires de mon côté, puis de réponses, puis ah ouais, puis ça continue, je continue à faire ce que j'aime, puis m'entraîner, pas d'affaires, pas de business, puis je suis un travailleur indépendant en tant que philosophe, artiste, I'm an independent artist, athlete, philosopher, worker, and I got my theories, and I keep at it, working on, invest in the body, work, c'est du travail indépendant. Da YouTuber. Je suis un YouTuber, c'est un verbe. J'ai YouTube, on met-tu dans le Becherel en 2020, dans le 3 ans et demi, 7 ans, on va mettre dans le Becherel verbe YouTuber. Pas besoin de Becherel, don't need that Becherel to conjugate, so here we in that Westmount, and if I know somebody who deserves to live in houses like this, is my anonymous sister friend, greatest woman that I know. Si je connais quelqu'un qui mérite d'habiter dans des maisons comme ça, ben, c'est ma soeur anonyme, puis I always say that I begin my workout today now, and that is my fitness journey, begins today, and so can you, so I encourage you all to work out, train, exercise, and j'encourage tous les gens à faire l'entraînement physique. C'est l'entraînement physique. So it's workout, train, exercise, and super important to stay fit and to take care of the body, and public hygiene is super important. So, you know, I open carry my disinfectant, je porte bien sûr mon désinfectant des mains, et bien sûr, c'est au quotidien que je dois bien sûr me nettoyer les mains moi aussi. Surtout quand je touche des choses, puis je vais dans des magasins, when I open the doors, quand j'ouvre la porte, eh, you got microbes and bacteria and germs, on a des microbes, puis des bactéries, puis des germes, puis it's always important for me to pay attention to that, de payer attention à ça. So, because we got bacteria, microbes and germs, on a des microbes, des bactéries, puis des germes, puis surtout quand on touche par exemple le clavier, quand je vais regarder dans la banque, mais là je suis dans le mois, mais payer mon loyer pour le mois de mars, mon loyer est payé, ma facture d'électricité est aussi payée, puis j'ai payé la moitié de mon internet, puis j'ai la nourriture puis du café, la gratitude avec ça, 100%. 100% gratitude, grateful, thankful that I paid my rent, paid my electricity bill, got food and coffee, so I got it for that struggle, you know. Yes, aggression, I have aggression, but I work out, I train, I exercise. L'agression, mais j'en ai moi-même, mais je m'entraîne, je fais de l'exercice physique. And now you can see all those lights from here. I'm going down. I'm in Westmount. Je suis à Westmount. C'est l'autre sommet de la montagne Mont-Royal. It's the other peak of Mount Royal. Because you got 3 peaks right at the heart, south. In the south, though, not in the center of the island, but in the center from the east and from the west. But it's south. It's not exactly in the center, in the heart of the island. Kind of is, but it's not. It's more center from between the east and the west. It's not really from the north and the south. Parce que le système de montagne, le Mont-Royal, n'est pas vraiment au centre en tant que tel, mais c'est plus au centre entre l'est et l'ouest. Entre l'est et l'ouest, au centre. Mais c'est pas du nord au sud, c'est plus au sud. Mais exactement au centre de l'est puis de l'ouest. De l'ouest puis de l'est, mais au nord, puis c'est au sud. Au sud. C'est au sud. C'est. S'il faut que je fasse attention quand je traverse la rue, par exemple, I gotta watch it when I traverse here. Gotta turn my head left or right. left and right, but they were on the red, so they had to stop. Ils étaient sur le rouge. Il a fallu qu'ils s'arrêtent, mais c'est quand même, il faut être prudent. You gotta be careful. That's why I always say turn your heads left and right before you cross the street. And that's that 66 bucks, 66 bus, 66 bus. Ça c'est l'autobus, la 66. And to be honest, I think it's been more than 7 years the last time I took it. Je pense que ça fait plus que 7 ans que je l'ai pris. Ça fait plus que 7 ans que je l'ai pris. Ça fait plus que 7 ans que je l'ai pris. Ça fait plus que 7 ans que je l'ai pris. Maybe. More than 7 years. So last took it, so I will give my anonymous sister friend that house. Je lui donnerai à ma soeur anonyme cette maison là-bas, puis je lui donnerai, I would give her that house. I'd buy her that house. I'll get her a house here in Westmount. Je lui donnerai une maison ici. À Westmount, I will get her that house here in Westmount. Je lui donnerai une maison ici, Westmount. So. Ah. I'll get her a little bit of that house and super important to. This is Westmount, got multi-million-dollar houses, but I would definitely want my anonymous sister friend, and I got love for you, Taylor Swift. I'm a Swiftie, but my anonymous sister friend deserves to be 7 times the number after 6. Number after 6, the number after 6 is 7 times richer than Swifties. I pass here in Westmount is multi-million-dollar houses, and maintenant quand je dis toujours que j'aime Taylor Swift puis Céline Dion, mais ma soeur anonyme en mérite d'être 7 fois le chiffre après 6. Le chiffre qui suit 6, le chiffre qui s'en vient après 6, c'est 7 avant 8. Ma soeur anonyme en mérite d'être 7 fois plus riche que Céline. And we came to the end of another video, overtime every time, with the dragon. En temps supplémentaire avec le dragon, de l'entraînement physique, so we always get that drill, and happy I gotta get the moon. I'm gonna have the moon, and gonna start seeing some stars. I'm looking for that constellation Orion, because I'm gonna get that situated. Scorpio, if I see Orion, I know where Scorpio is adjacent, opposite. Si je vois la constellation Orion, ben, je sais que le Scorpion, c'est exactement opposé, fait que je vais pouvoir me situer. So, from here to my place, another hour and a half, a few kilometers, miles. Encore d'ici jusqu'à chez nous, ben, c'est encore quand même un couple de kilomètres. 11, more than 11, plus qu'à 11 kilomètres from here to my place. More than an hour and a half, maybe plus qu'une heure et demie, depending on the pace. So, this one has been for my fellow Thelemites, pour mes Thélémites, that 93 Thelema. Starts the day 22 journey non-sectarian wannabe Thelemite here. Thélémite non-sectaire ici, puis Adrian Hana Dragon, Rock&Roll Adrian Hana Dragon.